To address my wife. Before y'all watch the video that I did, I wanted to make this as a preview for the video. You can type in Miss Universe human trafficking and you will see that supermodels are prostitutes. A lot of music artists were nothing but prostitutes. You can go look at the Pussycat Dolls, okay? There's a lot of actresses that are now coming out in the Me Too movement. Hopefully, Raw Fruit Goddess will never have to come out, but yet she came out in her interview acting as if I was abusing her when she actually abused me. Now she's acting like she's giving away $500 while her baby daddy is out here begging for change. Parts broke on the car. I need to get the car fixed, okay? When I turn on the air conditioning, the car is like burning oil and shit. And like the air conditioning not working right. So even if you say, okay, come pick me up, I can't pick you up. You know what I mean? I want to go fix the car some more before I come and pick you up. But just so y'all know, okay, because this is Raw Fruit Goddess, right? Raw Fruit Goddess, when I got with her, I told her, I'm a military family, right? I said, okay, look, we're military family. You are so slow and you are not been trained. I've been trained my whole life to be a ruler of this world, okay, by Masons. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have to do you like G.I. Jane. I'm gonna have to do you like boot camp. And I said, go watch the movie G.I. Jane. Now, she accepted all of this. But then she goes and run around and act like I'm abusing her. But you said that you wanted to accept my training, my boot camp. Now she's teaching people and she's like, oh, well, you could do this and whatever. You know, it's really about this and it's really about that. No, what's it about is we figured out what human beings need to eat. And this is the first time human beings ever figured out what we're supposed to eat. Even the Egyptians didn't know what we're supposed to eat. She is not a world ruler. She should not be doing interviews. She should not even be teaching anything beside cooking classes. My wife is very young and very childish, very silly. And I'm offended. And I just wanted to say, like, she needs to take that damn interview down, do another interview, ask the host to take that one down, because that was ridiculous and unprofessional. I came to learn about veganism and yoga and shit. She started talking about me and our personal relationship, and she didn't say how much I taught her, how many times I cooked for her. She didn't say how many times I carried things for her, carried fruit for her, how I spent all my money and gave her all my paychecks. She didn't say nothing about, oh, he was a great man, but you know, he was going through a lot. He was dealing with a lot. He doesn't have a support system. She's not telling the secret. The secret is that she told me to lie to her family and to tell them that we met at the mall. So if you met me at the mall, it would seem as if, oh, I'm a regular guy that, oh, you know, I could go stay with my parents. Then she let me come over, let me sleep there, and they're not thinking, oh, this is a homeless guy that needs our help. So her family starts abusing me. She didn't say how much her family abused her, nor how much they abused me. But then she acted as if I was the one that was abusive in the relationship when she was being abused by her family. I told her, look, you are like really ignorant. I cannot work with you. Like, I didn't want to say like she's worthless, but she was damn near worthless when I met her. And I'm like, you're just a supermodel, trash vegan prostitute. And, you know, like, I could do a lot with you, but I'm going to have to do some extreme methods. And I'm going to have to figure it out. Like, and she accepted this. She chose this. I let her know I'm going to have to create a system to raise your vibration. And I'm going to have to figure it out. Because your family's not supporting you. My family's not supporting me. We don't got a lot of money. We don't got a lot of time. By the time she learned a lot, Dr. Sebi was dead. So by the time I said, do you want to go to Honduras? She actually wanted to go. Do you think that if she was with me, she would have, if she wasn't with me, do you think she would have went to Honduras? No. She flew all around the world before. She been to Jamaica, Costa Rica, she been to Africa, but she never gone to Dr. Sebi's Usha village until I showed up. Dr. Sebi Jr. And these niggas get on my nerves talking shit. Throwing name on my brand. Throwing dirt on my brand, girl. I got on this LRG all white shirt today. This say 147%. 147%. Any spirit change on you, bro? What's up?
What's going on? I ain't got it.
And she acting like she giving away money, for real? This is some annoying bullshit. Like, she needs to come and let me fuck and let me spend some time with my kids. And another way that she abused me, because she abused me, and I'm gonna tell y'all more about it in this video, but another way that she abused me is that she said she was gonna let me spend some time with my son. I said, hey, do I need to put myself on child support and take you to court so that I can see my son? She said, that will not be necessary. I said, okay, I'm gonna trust you. How many years has it been? 5 years. Still ain't let me see my son. You see what I'm saying? I haven't seen my son since he was 1 year old. But anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all and y'all can watch the rest of this video. It's going down today.
I don't know. We're starting off. Why would you like a Crown? What is this? A Ford Taurus police car? Like, not a Ford Taurus show, which I would have raced in. It's a cheap car. It's a race car. That's a regular Ford Taurus. I don't know. Girl is showing she has no butt. I'm just gonna show y'all a lot of the psychosis of these weird agents in the community, acting weird and creepy like a demon, just making dumb, stupid videos, playing on the internet. Didn't Elijah tell us to be careful with the cameras, sagging titties? Now this is her face breaking out, and she was making up an excuse for it, and this is how she looks, like a demon. This is her breaking out again. She looks disgusting. Now, so some of y'all don't know that I am Thor, and I'm Groot now. So yeah, I'm extending this because this is a real conversation between us. She was talking to me like we were gonna get married for a while, so she's talking to me like she's deep or something. I'm like, you're 10 years younger than me, like, but all I said was kale is not real and your food is toxic and you can't sell that to the community.
10 years younger than me. How old is Raw Fruit Goddess?
So she went off on me and I just cursed her out like, you're being a spy. You're trying to steal my note. Suck my dick. I don't need luck. Because she sent me a picture and said, good luck. I'm going to show y'all that picture.
So when someone says good luck to you, what's the difference between saying fuck you, drop dead? If somebody say something like that to me and I say fuck you, they say, oh, you're being abusive. But you were abusing me when you said good luck. This is what I'm dealing with. Crazy little childish girl.
I speak English. She says, oh, I'm in the car and you're disrespectful. You're disrespecting my mom, saying things are false. I'm like, what you're selling isn't natural. It's toxic. I said, okay, so you are an agent. You the police. You know what you are. Later, I'm going to show where they are Masons, and they are scam artists, and they actually say that Masons and sovereignty people and Moors are con artists, and they are part of that. But they had to separate from the con artists. But you don't think you're a con artist anymore. But you sell GMO stuff. So we're talking about dandelion and something else, but she's saying that black is not a status. This is her trying to talk to me like she thinks she knows something, like she's deep. I'm like, you're 23 years old. You're an idiot. Look how fat you are and look how saggy your breasts are, and you're supposed to be a virgin vegan. Like, how are you a virgin and your breasts are so saggy and your stomach is sticking out so much? She actually wears a corset. I don't have the pictures of the corset because she took them down, but we got more pictures. So she wears a corset and she called it like something else. I was like, yo, you're wearing a belly wrap. So this is her still talking about dumb stuff. She's trying to talk about black and status. I'm like, they will violate you and torture you. Okay, she said, yeah, my mom knows this guy's crew, Tyreek. I said, can you tell him that, damn.
So to be clear, I'm saying you can say whatever you want to, and they will do us dirty. They tortured me. No matter what I call myself.
I was like, can you tell him that I was a secret shopper for P&G and I need an interview with Nas? So she's like, we work with this guy, but we don't roll with the Moors because they're a joke and they're scams. But I'm like, but you are more, and you are scam artists. You're selling poison food to the community. This is proof. She's saying that Moors are scam artists, but we had to separate from them. But that means you are born from a scam. Here I'm saying kale is not natural. This is Smithsonian Institute. Beyonce wearing kale. This is me showing that I did help Dr. Seppi's website get better. They sell a product because of me. This is my website, Raw Fruit Goddess. We made a food list of the best foods in the world and gave it away for free. Our food list is better than Dr. Sebi's food list. That's an Ethiopian apple right there with that pie.
Hold on.
Electric food. This is real good.
Bigging up my wife, Raw Fruit Goddess. I'm showing off our website. Now, I don't know why she said coconut curry, because we don't use curry. She might have used ginger or something else and said curry, but we don't use curry. Maybe she used curry that day. I don't know, but we don't use curry. So I'm gonna get to the interview where my wife just like buried me, and I'm like, yo, I'm wondering why things ain't working out. Where like my energy has been invested, and I'm wondering why I'm not getting a return on that energy. Like, why are things not working out right? Why my baby mama ain't came to see me? Why she didn't bring my son? And I had to realize that she's high. Raw Fruit Goddess is high, just like Chef Aki and so many others. And it's like, people be making decisions that affect other people's life and the world while they're high. And I'm like, I don't know if she got high before she did the interview, but it's like she told a lot. But she talked about stuff like abusive. And I was offended because I'm like, I'm Black Jesus. I ain't never abused nobody. I ain't never abused none of my adopted children, none of my children, none of my wives, none of my girlfriends. You feel me? I might have cursed your ass out. But abuse is not what we do. So what happens is, I think Raw Fruit Goddess never got a whooping before. So she doesn't even know what abuse is. She's so skinny, they probably was scared to hit her because they probably break her little bones. Because she's been skinny for all her life dang near from what I see. So yeah, hold on.
Food. This is what I produce. Now we're going to go back to exposing them. Exposing other con artists. Don't fall for the con artists. She said I'm on Dr. Sebi's nuts. I'm going to show that. This con artist is a scam artist. His daughter.
See, this is Raw Fruit Goddess' secret. Her secret that she told me to keep. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep it. But I had to tell the secret on the internet. Because I was like, yo, something ain't working right. Like, what do I get for doing what you asked me to do? And, you know, when I got with Raw Fruit Goddess, I realized that she was not a smart girl. Her name was Simply Mala. Simply Mala. And I'm like, okay, you got the potential though. Like, you already vegan? Oh, well, you can go to the moon and back. You can do whatever you want to now. You got it. You got natural hair, you Black, you vegan. Your potential is through the roof. And I'm wondering why my stocks are not going up right now. And I'm like, she just buried me. You know, her Raw Fruit Goddess' secret is that she met a dude that was homeless, that she was already in an abusive relationship. She was sick. She was a sick vegan, and she had health problems. She was being abused by her family, and everything that she manifested was pretty much nothing. And she had to get with me, who was with King Noble at the time, studying and learning Dr. Sebi, and I had to save her life. A homeless man. All that supermodeling and flying around the world and Team Natural Hair, Crystals, None of that got her nowhere but to me, the ruler of the world, Black Jesus. And I told her, I said, okay, you're messed up. I'm going to become your father. I'm going to be your new father since you don't have a good father in your life. Do you understand? Do you accept? She's like, yes. Like, what do you think a father's going to do? A father's going to come in the house, catch you doing wrong, tell you, stop doing that, stop doing this. You know what I mean? Clean up this, take that out. You know what I mean? And then they got to chastise you sometimes. How do they do that? How do I whoop my wife? I can't just whoop her. So I do things like I told her, pick a finger. And when you fuck up really bad, I'm going to break that finger. I will not hurt no part of your body but that finger. The trick is, she picked the finger. She did not have to pick a finger. She could have said, nope, I don't want to be in this relationship. I'm going. Did I ever break her finger? No. Did she fuck up a couple times? Yes. One time she fucked up and I said, did you pick a finger yet? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, think it's a game. Next time she fucked up again, I said, give me your hand and show me the finger that you picked out for me to break. And if you keep fucking up, I'm going to break it. I might break it right now. And she showed me her finger. What finger did she pick? Her wedding ring finger. So later I'm going to show y'all pictures where she was smiling, wearing her wedding ring, and daggone, the finger ain't got no scars, it ain't broke, ain't nothing wrong with the finger. She don't have no pictures of no bruises, no scratches, none of this stuff that y'all see out there in Hollywood in abusive relationships. Rihanna, head all swollen and all that, none of that. None of that. Meg Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. Raw Fruit Goddess is trolling them. She wants attention. And maybe that's okay, but don't bury me to get attention, girl. You was in a relationship doing fucked up shit. And I said, I need a way to communicate to you. I need a way to punish you. I don't know how to get this idea through your head. What can I do? I'm going to make you pick a finger for me to break if you fuck up. And you're going to agree that I can break this finger when you fuck up. So that when you fuck up, you could think, damn, that nigga gonna come and break my finger. Or, damn, he broke my finger. That's what I get for doing dumb shit. That nigga really loved me. He didn't even do shit but what I told him he could do. But did I ever break the finger? No. Why? Because the meditation was the whole lesson. The whole lesson is, damn, he gonna break my finger. It's like, and catch you. You like, oh shit, let me go hurry up and do the dishes. You supposed to been did them dishes. You supposed to been took out that trash. But no, you want to do it when you hear the car come in the driveway. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, let me make things real for you because you ain't never even got a whooping yet. And then the meditation is scary because it's like, oh damn, this where it starts. It don't start with you getting hit with a piece of leather or a little twig or something like that. It starts off with breaking a finger. It don't start off with beating you up, none of that. I'm going to start off by breaking your finger. Let's start there. Let's go to a level where we don't have to even get there though. And that was the message was, why don't you just be so smart that I never have to break the finger and you realize that it was just a joke? If I really wanted to abuse you, you would have been abused. If I wanted to hit you, you would have been hit. If I wanted to break your hand and break your fingers and shit, it would have been broke. Now we know that she make money off of her hands and off of her face. So we're talking about financial burdens now, different kind of burdens. But do y'all think that that's crazy? Because she could have simply said, as soon as she got away from me, Because she didn't stay with me. She stayed with her parents. She's grown, but she's staying with her parents, right? So you could have easily said, hey, mom, dad, brother, whoever you got in your family, yo, I got to break up with this crazy nigga. He talking about breaking my finger. Because I was eating some slave food. And he doesn't want to get another crazy girl pregnant. He don't want me to have a retarded baby. He don't want me to have a sick baby. He don't want me to be retarded feeding the baby poison. And then the baby gets sick. So he threatened to break my finger because I did something stupid. Or, you know, he was out sitting out in the snow calling me and I didn't call him back. Or he was sitting out in the rain, walking in the rain to work, and I didn't call him back because I was so busy talking to strangers on the internet. When he's the most valuable player, he's the most valuable investment. He about to get Native American rights, and we just got Native American Day officially in America. United States about to have to give him stimulus checks. Your baby daddy was about to give you the whole stimulus check, but said, fuck that shit, let me go buy a car. Because this girl is crazy. Now she's giving away money on the internet to strangers. I felt like I'm in a relationship with a stranger because I'm like, yo, we spend a lot of time talking and getting to know each other. You don't have to be in a relationship with a vampire if you don't want to. Who gets in a relationship with a vampire and then tries to act all brand new? Like, this nigga didn't tell you that I'm a vampire. Like, I bit somebody the other day and talked about it on YouTube. And I did, like, therapy for myself. Like, okay, don't bite nobody today. So, is she counting me as abusive for all the times I bit her while we was having sex? I don't know if she realized I was biting her, but I bit her a lot. And I was gonna make a video about it, like just joking, like, whoopsie, I bit my baby mama. Is my baby mama a vampire now? Like, I don't know. Because these lesbians are crazy. Like, they will bury you. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't send you like $100, $200 for you to just come and bring my son to me and let me shoot a video with him so that you can go on with your life and think about, hey, I might want to let him see his son next year. Or he might die, and this video with his son might be the last thing he ever do. His son might have to grow up, and that might be the only thing he got is a couple videos with his dad. Golly, man. It's like I'm dealing with so much, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Like, part of it is that I have to be extra because I'm dealing with so much. Like, they are listening to me and watching me. I want them to think I'm crazy. I want them to know I'm crazy. But I do not want my baby mama to think I'm crazy. Like, she can't say I tied her up and drank her blood and all that. I asked her for some milk and she gave me breast milk. That was a beautiful relationship. I didn't know there was some abuse going on. It's like, she agreed to everything. How is this abusive when I work for you? She was simply Mala. She became raw fruit goddess. And I'm bigging her up. And I'm like, yo, she goes on the internet and buries me, y'all. I cannot believe it. So I got to expose her black and mild smoking ass. Man, hold on.
It's fat, drinking poison. Okay? This is my sister who had cancer, who was taking Dr. Sebi herbs. Now this is her saying, good luck, Prince, with your...
So I just was showing Supernova Sloan's daughter looking all fat and busted. This is why I talked about breaking the finger. Because the finger is what you use in your yoga. The finger is what you use in meditation. The finger is what you use when you buy food, when you garden, which are all meditations. The finger is also what you use to drive and use your cell phone. So this is why I said, choose a finger, I'm going to break it. I don't know which one to break. You pick. That is the punishment in itself. The the reality of, oh my God, this nigga might really just break my hand at any point in time. Let me stop fucking up. Because you were playing too damn much with my life. My sister is dead now. She did not listen to me. Raw Fruit Goddess, she listened to me. She's alive now. Isn't that great? I saved Raw Fruit Goddess' life. She extended her father's life. Looks like I'm doing pretty good, right? With the hand stuff. Now, do you know what I wish? I wish I would have told Jamie, my sister. I wish I would have told Jamie, her online name is Betty, but I wish I would have told her that same meditation. Like, I love you, girl, but you are fucking up so bad. When I see you, I'm going to break your finger. Pick one. I could have saved her damn life. And I never broke nobody's finger ever, but my own finger. Lord, I broke my own hand. Okay.
Running your video. I asked her to help me produce some cooking videos for the community. I said, look, I have a location, a kitchen, and everything. Now, this is her making these.
I gave Raw Fruit Goddess a meditation that she never read in a book. So she didn't know it was a meditation. I gotta put on crystals and dance around and put on feathers in my hair for y'all to act like you woke. But you can't, you gotta turn it off and on or something. It's like, y'all are weirdos on this internet. Y'all are so weird. It's so weird. It's like, yo, it's a meditation.
Excuses for being fat. She's saying I had a food baby of poison. Look how your stomach sticks out every day.
Raw Fruit Goddess had a real baby, not a poison food baby. See, Raw Fruit Goddess is scared to come around me because she think I'm going to get mad and break that hand still. Psychologically, she probably still thinks that. I want to actually kiss her hand, but she won't come here so I can fix the daggone I have to complete the therapy for the meditation that I created for her. That's why I'm trying to see her. I'm not trying to see her so I can grab her, so I can rape her. I would love to have sex, but the whole point is I'm not trying to do anything other than complete the meditation. I don't want to break her hand. I'm not going to break her hand. Lord, it's just a meditation. It's like your parents say, if I come home and the grass not cut, you got to get out the house. They don't want to throw you out the damn house, but that's what they got to do. That's the part of being a parent. I've been a parent before Raw Fruit Goddess ever met me. I was a parent when I was a kid. So imagine, like, now me and her have a baby, and this is the first time that I can actually say, no, I'm going to feed my baby this. I'm going to put this on my baby. I'm going to use this kind of soap on my baby. It's the first time for the opportunity that I was given to be a real father, where the wife actually says, yes, I want to give the baby breast milk. I want to give the baby coconut water. These are things I had to fight for. To fight. I had to raise up adopted children with daggone Similac and stuff. Because their mother wasn't there. They were adopted children. I was afraid because I was like, yo, I don't even know these could be my kids for real. That's how complicated my family is. That's how much money we got. Like, I'm like, yo, was that my son? Okay.
Every day, your stomach is dragging and hanging. Your tits are sagging. Look at her skin again. Now,
this shit is sad. Why can't Raw Fruit Goddess just talk to me instead of talking to all these weirdos and strangers? I'm so sad right now. I just want to say this is so sad. Because I had to make her feel what I feel. That is what happens when you get married, but she's not even going to claim me. I'm like, damn.
These are multiple days with different hairstyles. If you notice, the hair was different. Her skin is still nasty looking. Okay? Look at that. Different hairstyles, skin still look nasty. Different days. Look again, stomach sticking out more than the breast. You got a booty, dude. The stomach stick out more than the breast. I'm an angel. I'm here to help y'all. Now, this is Tassili with her mom of Drop Squad Kitchen. This is the Drop Squad Kitchen and the whole family right here. This is them together. That was Tassili. Now, I used to work for Tassili. This is her and Chef Aki. All these are slaves who are con artists and agents. They're slaves. They don't know it. This is her stomach sticking out. She looks pregnant. Again, I'm trying to tell y'all, they both all sell kale. I'm trying to tell y'all, kale is not natural. There's science proving it. This is tofu and crap. All this is poison. Everything on this table is poison almost, except for the maple. We can heal her eyes. Dr. Sebi heals eyes. I'm going to just show y'all, this girl is blind. She is sick. Look at her face. She looks disgusting. She kind of looks like a lesbian or a man. She is a lesbian because she is 23 years old and a virgin. That makes you a lesbian. You're a sick lesbian. So come out, you have magic while you eat GMO food and you con artist the community. You're eating a potato here.
But there is no such thing as lesbians because all the lesbians have boyfriends. So what's a lesbian? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't get it.
This is poison. You shouldn't even sell this to the community. Why would you sell this to the community? Why aren't you with pictures with Dr. Sebi? Why don't you have pictures in Usha Village? Because you're a Mason and you're a slave. This is
Drop Squad Kitchen. Now, for people who don't know, they know Dr. Sebi. When he was alive, they did interviews with him. But you don't see them going to Dr. Sebi's house, though. This is the problem. That I gave up my life for Raw Fruit Goddess. She wanted to go to Usha Village. I wanted to go, but I'm like, yo, we really need to do some business in America. And if we go there, I'm probably going to end up being homeless. That's when Raw Fruit Goddess and me made a plan to separate. We did not separate because, oh, she was being abused. Like, that's the story that she's supposed to tell her family so that they take her back in the house after she stole their money. Raw Fruit Goddess stole her mama money. So she's trying to sit up here and make it like I'm being abusive. I'm like, yo, do you understand that my mama would lock me up for that? Now, somebody just broke into my mama's house. It was not me. They took her money. Imagine now, Raw Fruit Goddess stole money from her mama. So now it's like, is Raw Fruit Goddess a suspect? Did she steal the money at my mama's house? She does have a history of stealing. You know what I mean? Like, she got in her interview and didn't keep it real with y'all. She didn't say, yeah, I used to steal vegetables and steal money and all this stuff like that. She didn't talk about how she used to smoke Black and Milds and eat garbage at vegan garbage, you know. What I saved her from. This shit is sad how she did in this interview. I can't wait to play it for y'all.
Drop Squad Kitchen exposed. You're a Mason and you are a slave. And you are a con artist. Okay, sagging breasts, sagging titties. Go nasty vegan. Con artist vegan if you want to go. Look at them trying to sell you something with a smile because they sold their soul and they have no soul. This is poison. Dr. Sebi already exposed moringa as a poison. Okay? This is them being slaves. They're slaves. That's who you're making slave food. Food ain't been real since slavery. This is slave food right here. This is poison. Fancy poison. Crap. Garbage. Corn. Garbage. Kale. Garbage. All garbage. Okay?
So if I come around and I start talking like that, baby, you eating slave food, baby, you can't cook. Am I being abusive? If I'm saying, hey, yo, take down all these old pictures, get rid of this stupid cat you got. You about to have a baby. She told me she was happy she got rid of the cat. But now I'm abusive? What?
Even most tomatoes are garbage. So kale, garbage. I don't know what they put on there. Garbage. I'm coming at y'all. I'm the devil. I'm here to destroy everything moving. More garbage, kale. I've already showed y'all the Smith.
Brawley says I'm a devil in the video game. In the game, in that scene, he says I'm a devil. That's what I mean. I don't mean I do Satan worship. I don't mean I drink blood. I mean, that's what Brawley says in the video game. Okay, let me clarify things, you know. When I talk about being Lucifer, the light bearer, the morning star, and I'm watching the sunrise right now.
Sonia Institute, Tassili and them, y'all need to take some Dr. Sebi CMOS. That's what you need with your dumb butt. Look, this is Chef Aki saying I'm on Dr. Sebi's nuts. I just showed you Tassili with Chef Aki. This is me. I'm not trolling. I'm not ghosting. That's my real name. Now I got y'all. I'm an angel. I got you. It's over. Game over. Now this is my interview. This is my interview. You can hear more from me. Holla at me. Please donate to my website, Raw.
So that's my interview where I'm shouting out Raw Fruit Goddess.
Raw Fruit Goddess.
Raw Fruit Goddess. I'm shouting it out. I said she know more than me. Y'all should go to her. She didn't tell y'all that her husband saved her life and blessed her with all this knowledge and years of research. Taught her about how to use the internet. Taught her daggone about sound therapy. Taught her about Dr. Sebi. She speaks as if she learned about Dr. Sebi from somebody else. She wasn't promoting Dr. Sebi like that when she was Simply Mala. She had, I think she did have some herbs either before I met her or once we started talking, she ordered some herbs from Dr. Sebi. But, you know, this stuff is crazy. I'm about to get to it, so let's go.
Site Raw Fruit Goddess. I'm the biggest company in the world. I'm an old slave. You're a new slave. And I want y'all to think about this. Like, how can someone sell you health products and look like this? And how can you buy products from someone who looks like this and does the things like this? Is a person's child that sells you that owns the business.
Talk about the good today's age really looks like. Let's rise up, show up, speak up, and level up together.
So get real with Libby's. I'm going to hit you up. This is for you. This is for Malaika. She says Malika. Kai. And you know, she, like I said, she was simply Raw Fruit Goddess. Play this.
Every raw conversation. Happy Monday, such a good day. I love Mondays. I hope you all love Mondays too because you get to listen to this podcast. I'm not gonna lie, for a while.
Now this is when she was Simply Mala. This page name changed to Malaika Mastery. It was DJ Yoni Yum Yum. Play this.
Every raw conversation. Happy Monday, such a good day. I love Mondays. I hope you all love Mondays too because you get to listen to this podcast. I'm not gonna lie, for a while.
Now this is when she was Simply Mala. This page name changed to Malaika Mastery. It was DJ Yoni Yum Yums. Now do y'all see her face? When we was in a relationship, I told her about like a lot of different things, natural soaps, all kind of stuff, right? And I used to pop her pimples. Like I wouldn't even say nothing. Like I'll just look at her, lean in, and start popping her pimples. That's love, not abuse. That is actually one of the highest forms of love that I was taught about by an older woman. She told me, she looked at me one day and she said, "I can tell that you're single." I said, "What?" She said, "I can tell that you don't have a good woman." I said, "How? What are you talking about?" She said, "A good woman will pop your pimples. You will not be walking around like young Pharaoh and many other people." So, if, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, that's kind of gross, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, that makes perfect sense. Like, and she was like, yeah, a really good woman would be checking up on you, making you exfoliate or something. So when I take that lesson that this older lady taught me, which I didn't date the older lady, I actually hooked her up with my dad, and she was a dentist. I took that lesson and brought it to my wife, but I didn't explain what I was doing. I was just showing her love, but I wasn't saying, "I love you, baby. Let me please do this." I would just do it. This is what I'm dealing with right now. So let's look at Raw Fruit Goddess. She looked like the violin girl. She looked just like the violin girl, don't she? So I'm looking for a picture that I want to just look at while we let it play, because when I met her, these are like the pictures she had from 2012 and stuff. What is this? What is this? Does this look like thirst trapping? Like She could have took a picture of her legs or whatever, but she took a picture of her yoni with this magic print design on it, and she posted it. This is like some thirst trapping type stuff. I told her, baby, you need to delete a lot of your old pictures. You're a married woman now. You're married. You have a husband. It's like you've been blessed to find a husband that even is vegan. You go to couples therapy and you work out and you talk out your problems. We ain't even got to the point where it was really bad and we had to go to therapy. But I want to go to therapy because it was bad for me. I'm getting with a young girl who don't got a lot of knowledge and she's kind of stupid. So I'm like, yo, you got to understand what I'm going through. Like, I got to expect to lose a little bit. Like, if you do something stupid and we miss out on an opportunity, that's going to happen. I sacrifice that for you. Hold on, let me move on. I was looking at these yellow corn chips. We don't promote yellow corn. This is like Chipotle or something. Like, we don't promote that. Yeah, Chipotle. I worked at Chipotle. You feel me? Around this time or before this time, I'm not sure if it's the same time I worked at Chipotle, but this is something she should have took down. Why is this still on the page?
About like all of these things that started popping up on my head. But as I listened to the episodes and as I listened to our amazing guests, I'm just like, wow, like this podcast, I feel like is such a good one here to speak. Today is, I feel like the exact same. It's just coming full circle because as you all know, I've been working on my health. I've been starting to make a few changes here and there because I obviously want to make the change gradual so that I can actually stick to everything. But today's guest is actually this amazing, wonderful light being that I met during my master's practitioner training. And, you know, her story, her grace, her everything just captivated the crap out of me. And not only that, here's the crazy thing, how everything comes full circle. So I've been doing a lot of work on reconnecting with myself, my intuition, and like, not even that, but my roots, right? And so some of you may or may not know, but I'm half Mexican, half Hondureña. And so, but not a lot of people know where Honduras is or that it even exists. You know, a lot of people have given me the very ignorant comment to be like, is that another place in Mexico? Like, because of course, every Latin American country is Mexico to people here in California. But today's guest has actually been to Honduras and actually studied there and lived there for about 8 months, which was so fucking crazy. And we got connected, not only in our training, but we were actually partners for our breakthrough sessions, which, mind you, were 2 long days, 2 9-hour days, okay, where we really dove in deep and got to know each other like really, really deeply.
So this is what my wife been doing on the internet, talking to strangers. Now, in this interview, she said that she want to help people that's going through similar situations. So it sounds like she's a battered woman. But I didn't abuse her. Her family abused her. When she says abusive relationships, she's talking about her family and her relationship before she got with me. So what's really going on here? This is crazy.
And, you know, she's such an amazing person. She went from being a raw vegan and an herbalist, and she's now working with mindset and stuff like that to really help everybody or her clients integrate everything that she's doing, because obviously it's not just the stuff that you're going to put in your body, but it's also what you're thinking about when you're putting these things in your body, how you're thinking about it, and, you know, allowing yourself to change your mindset so that you're able to really, really integrate all of these things that you're learning and implement them into your life, right? And so we talk all about that in today's podcast episode. Malaika is such a beautiful soul. She is very, very, very well guided, as you will hear, not just in the way that she speaks, but you'll feel it as you're listening to her.
Who is her guide? She said well guided. Who's her guide? Her husband. But her husband actually is a Google guide. He actually works for Google. Now, she actually told me to delete my Google account. She said that we were getting too many robots because they were trolling Dr. Sebi too much. And she said, like, yo, like, just get off the internet. And I was like, okay, because I got off the internet before I got back on to study. And I said, okay, I'll get back off the internet. Forget it. Now, this person is saying all these lovely things about the guide and all this stuff. They don't understand that I'm her guide. I'm the reason why she's such a beautiful being. All this that y'all love about Raw Fruit Goddess is my creation. She was simply Mala. She was not all this greatness. What happens is it takes time for the body to adjust. Then it takes time for the brain to adjust. The brain cannot adjust unless you know how to program it. So she's trying to do all this programming stuff, but she doesn't realize that her husband already knows how to do all of these things. Again, starting back with the hand meditation. The Buddha hand is a sacred thing. I've broken my hand and healed it back. So me breaking her finger is not even a big deal. It's a meditation. I didn't say I'm going to break your whole hand. You could break a finger and then fix it right back. I just broke my fingers again and fixed it back. That's why I keep showing y'all my hands and wiggling my hands and stuff for y'all. Y'all don't know why I'm doing that. It's because I used to have eczema on my hands and I broke my hands. So literally, my wife has to type for me. She has to speak for me. She has to do things for me. But the fact that I can create a meditation that's more powerful than anything you're going to learn from the Buddha or from some guru. And I ain't all dressed up where you got to go take a class with me and all that. It just looks like you're not even getting no... It looks like you're not with Jesus because she didn't want to say my name. And the problem is if y'all didn't say, well, what is your baby father name? Let him come on the show. We want to talk to him. Did he get therapy? Did he go to a mental hospital? What did he do to get, like, what's wrong with him? What's going on with him? Y'all are supposed to redirect her back to me like, well, is he okay? Is he on medication now? Like, did he get some therapy? Are you helping him with therapy? She's supposed to tell y'all, yes, everything that she does on the internet is a version of my therapy where I'm being patient. I'm listening to her. She's breaking my heart. Like I imaginarily broke her finger. She's not physically breaking my heart, but she's breaking my heart. But if I say I'm going to break your hand, you get so serious. If I say I'm going to break your heart, you don't call it abusive. You just say, oh no, they broke my heart. It doesn't mean they took a hammer to your chest or a chainsaw or none of that crap. So I never actually broke her hand. She could have said, you know what? I don't want to do this. Get me away from this dude. Dude, block me and be like, yo, like, dude can't come around no more. Call the police, get a restraining order. She didn't get a restraining order till I told her to. I told her to get a restraining order and tell her family we broke up. I should have told her what to say, but I was just like, I don't know, just make up something. The problem is you can't keep lying to people. Okay, let me go, man. Let me play this interview.
I really think you're going to learn so much from her today. You know, being in this world as a human being, obviously, we tend to look for answers outside of people, which is even why probably you're even listening to this episode, right? Or to this podcast. But in this episode with Malika, we really talk about coming back to ourselves and really relearning and listening to ourselves and moving in with our intuition and being guided and allowing everything that we do to be ritualistic and with intention. And I think that it's so beautiful because we are so conditioned to move into this world as if we have to do things.
If you want to listen to the full interview, check her interview out. I mean, we're going to have to do a better interview now. But, you know, Raw Fruit Goddess was a supermodel But she can't say that she was a prostitute. She can't say that she was a slave and her husband helped her get away because she's under contract. She has to say she was in an abusive relationship. But then nobody says, okay, well, what did he really do to you? Well, he didn't really do nothing to me, but he will fuck y'all up. Like, that's how the interview should go. But it's just like, she's not even old enough to break the matrix and tell the truth for real like that. Sometimes people can't see the truth. Like, she did a video with a song and she was like, 99 problems in a nigga ain't one. Yeah, I'm not messing with her. Like I'm not throwing bricks through her window, showing up at the school or at the house. I went to Walmart and texted her and was like, yo, I'm at Walmart. Can you meet me? That's not abusive. People that have been abused would imagine some crazy stuff. They'd be like, oh, this dude is crazy. It's like, no, he abused the police. He abused the police. He abused the judge. He abused a crackhead. He didn't abuse her. But it's like, she can't tell y'all the truth. And that's the sad part about it, is that, like, I don't care about the money. I'm going to tell the truth. She on the cover of magazines. She going to tell lies to your vision. She going to get y'all. She need a sob story. But at the same time, I guess because her mom might listen to the interview, she can't say how much her parents abused her. Even feeding her poison is a form of abuse. It's like if you say, hey, buy me some land so I can grow my own teosinte, and your family don't do it, which happened to us. We wanted to grow a garden and they fucking shot us down. I'm like, okay, now I gotta go work at Walmart. And if I have a drink after work and you don't make my food or heat my food up, I might throw the food out the window and say something silly. But I didn't break your hand, girl. So she don't understand that if she was to lie, and it's like she got me on thin ice. If she was to come on the radio and say some real lies, then that would be like, boy, she really buried me. She kind of buried me, though. It's like, damn, what kind of magic is this? Hold on, I gotta play this interview.
Really kind of push that aside and move into what feels good, what feels aligned, what feels like it's good for us, it's meant for us, and it's moving and working with us, right? So I don't want to take a lot away from today's episode, and I'm definitely not, because she dives in so deep with nutrition and like being able to listen to your intuition and intuitive eating and all of this good stuff. And it's just so crazy. Mind you, this woman is just like, she's very, very, very wise and amazing, and she's worked with some amazing people under the successors of someone that you may all know. So if you're interested in knowing who that person is, or at least a little curious, definitely continue to listen, because a lot of people have a lot of controversies about what happened to this person in particular. But this person in particular was huge in the herbalist community, especially when it comes to healing. And so, I don't know, the conversation we had today was amazing. And so I cannot wait for you to listen to it. Malika is amazing. She is just so divinely guided, and I just loved being in her presence. So I know for a fact that you listening right now, you're going to feel her presence just as well as I did. And it's going to make an impact. So definitely get comfortable, turn it up from wherever you're listening to and sit in with this. Really, really allow yourself to listen to what she's saying and allow it to fully integrate into, your being. Because I feel like for us to really move in alignment with ourselves, what she's talking about in today's episode is something that we should really integrate within ourselves, which is all about intuition, right? So anyways, today we dive into a lot of intuitive movement, but more so within health and how to listen to our bodies and all of that good stuff. She dives so deep into all of that, being raw vegan and everything. So before I take it all away, I'm just going to let the podcast start. I'm going to let Malika take it over. But before I do, if you love this episode or you're loving the podcast so far, I encourage you to leave a review letting me know what you like about the podcast so far and what your favorite episode has been. I would truly, truly appreciate it. I love hearing what you guys are loving about it. I know a lot of you send me messages via DM. So, if you want to translate that into a beautiful little review, I would definitely appreciate that. But before I take it all away, let's get into the podcast because Malika, how are you today?
Hi, Libby's. I am lovely. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am super, super happy to have you with us today. You have such an amazing story, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it. Now, can you do us a favor and tell us all a little bit about who you are, what you do, and, a little bit more about your healing journey?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking for the edits where she tells y'all that that's fake African food. That's not real African food, y'all. Y'all like, no, the Africans made it. I went to an African-owned restaurant. But that ain't African food. See, Jamaicans and Ethiopia are heavily interconnected when terms of Rastafarians and Haile Selassie I. See, somebody came to my neighborhood in Wakanda, right? He said, Haile Selassie is my king. An Ethiopian, to me. I said, take me there. I said, his name is Haile Selassie I. I. So, the whole thing is, he's gone now. I don't know where that person is no more. But it's like levels to this. Like, he didn't even know Haile Selassie's name. He was like, I was like, dude, like, what are you talking? Like that's his name. I went and looked it up. I said, am I tripping? It's Haile Selassie I. Give respect. If that's the king, you got to say his whole name. Don't do no interview about me and not say my name and talk about me negatively. Put an address on it, because some of them gonna want to pull up on me. Some of them want to help me. Some of them want to tell me what they think. Some of them want to ask me what I think. But you don't even say my name, and people got to go and look and find out who I am. But you're not going to tell them that you was eating poison and that your husband saved you and said, baby, you can't fucking eat there no more. Or I don't want you to eat there. I'd rather you make it in your room. Get a kitchen, make a little kitchen in your room, a portable kitchen, and make your own in Jeddah. And do YouTube videos about it like you used to, baby. Why is this not happening? Because I would have told y'all, nah, baby, you got to tell them, warn them. Like, yo, this is not good. You got to tell them, I only want this and that. And you got to say, pay extra for the real African bread. And then you got to talk to the chef and ask them about the ingredients. But see, Mala, my wife, didn't even know that in Atlanta, I grew up where they make in Jeddah. I used to be at the factory where they used to make it. And it was like a corner store. But they had like a big thing where they would take out this bread. And I never really, I just used to look at it and be respectful. But I never knew what it was. I was like, yo, what is that, man? I used to talk to them like, yo, tell me about this stuff, man. I want to go to Africa. Like, what y'all eating over there? So she not even telling y'all what I found out when I grew up. When I got with her, we make our own in Jeddah, though. She don't even need to promote them no more. She need to say she want her own restaurant. But this is how she moving in the matrix. This is my problem. She probably make a million things with real teff in it. She can make cakes, pies, everything, and she could show that off all day. She don't need to even show this old picture. I don't know who she was out to eat with or whatever. I don't even care. So let's go back to the interview because I want to listen to it. This is her. She's a supermodel. This is not her going to a private party. She's a supermodel. But this is how they dress her Okay, let's go back to here.
How are you today? I'm doing great. I am super, super happy to have you with us today. You have such an amazing story, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it. Now, can you do us a favor and tell us all a little bit about who you are, what you do, and, a little bit more about your healing journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Malika, and I'm a spiritual wellness and empowerment mentor. Yeah, just a little bit about me and my journey coming to this place of integrating various modalities and tools and just wisdoms that I've gained along the journey to assist me in intuitively guiding others. Like, I feel like I've always been connected to spirit, connected to something greater than myself. I feel like all children are, but this real awareness, I feel, really began for me when I started just looking at how I was taking care of my body. This started, I would say, in high school for me, when I just was being very different. It was very easy to tell that I wasn't just following along with what the norms were, like how everyone was eating, how everyone was hanging out, or where people went to hang out, or the type of hobbies or things that people had. I was really interested in health and wellness. And I feel like that was a combination of things that I saw in my family of people not taking care of themselves, whether it be with like the physical food that they were nourishing themselves with, but also just like the boundaries that people set in their life. I saw that within my family. I was seeing it in society, and just making that aware choice that I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to take care of myself, because like one of my core values is like strength, vitality, longevity, feeling good in our body, which I feel is like the foundation of everything. Everything else comes from that place. And so I'd say it was around that time that I really started getting into health food and like plant-based living, letting go of a lot of the foods that I grew up on and was emotionally attached to in a way as well. And it's been like a gradual journey, and I've grown more into like raw food along my journey, and herbalism and ancient plants, and then just fasting overall, like not eating anything and like really being that clear channel and going within, along with like yoga and meditation, and then learning some of the beautiful tools that we've been trained in together, like NLP, and just going deeper into the subconscious mind and our energy field and what makes us holistically, and how can we just clear what's no longer serving us and evolve towards our greater potential, and really just be more of ourselves, like going back to how we're born, how we enter this world just like pure and creative and light, love and curiosity and playfulness. And like my work is today literally bringing more of that energy into our life as grown-ups, leading with our natural gifts, showing up in the world, embracing who we are, and knowing that we'll be supported from this place. And a lot of the healing work that I do now is just like clearing everything that is not that, so we can be that fully.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that. That sounds just so magical. And I feel like I read.
See, the problem is that she should have talked with her husband before doing this, because her husband is a Freemason. She is not a Mason, to my knowledge. She ain't no blood or Crip. She's a Jamaican. And yeah, that is really sad, because it's like she just messed up the whole brand. The brand is you're a mother, a ex-wife, or a wife. You don't want to make me the bad guy. You could just say I was crazy. People just say he's crazy. I love him, but he's crazy. Just Daggone. Okay.
Like, I mean, for those of you who don't know, like, we just got finished training for masters in what we do, which is NLP and hypnotherapy. And that's where I met Malika. And within that training, we got down to like our values, and something that I valued a lot was like energy and focus. And I realized that energy and focus wasn't coming through.
She said, what do you value? Energy and focus. If energy is what you value, then that's the sun. No, what I value is the human experience, the quality of life. Yet, if your understanding of what a human being is and your quality of life is not the same, then you don't understand what I value. I value living in a community where we're at peace in the future, and I got a pyramid with an earth ship. That reality is what I value. A future where my wife knows what to eat and what to feed my children. Now I'm getting closer. Some people don't know what they want in life yet, though. What I want is her, and I got her. Now, I saved her life, but even Dr. Sebi said to save people's life, he had to get on them. He had to step on their head. He had to do all kind of stuff. What did I tell y'all? I said I was going to break her hand, but I never did it. I'm better than Dr. Sebi. I'm just crazy. Meditation.
After that training, I started focusing on my health and wellness. So when you mentioned right now, like, everything comes from being healthy. Everything comes from feeling good. Like, I feel like I resonate with that so much. And, with everything that you pretty much just mentioned, all about like eating healthy and moving into herbalism and stuff, how did you really move into that? How did you know that you wanted to learn more about your health and wellness and like eating raw? Like, how did you even move into going into like a vegan lifestyle?
Yeah, I feel like for any change that we want to make,
hold on.
I feel like the first.
So I'm over here watching Dr. Sebi trying to find a clip where he said he had to step on people's heads and stuff. When I got with Raw Fruit Goddess, she was not no raw vegan. She was eating stuff like this, little dairy-free vegan ice cream sandwiches and stuff like that. And I would buy it and say, yeah, you can have it, baby. Like, it's like when you meet, when you're in high school, you meet a girl, you could buy her some Air Force Ones, take her out, get some ice cream, and you're like, girl, I'd really rather start a business and go study with Dr. Sebi and make you $1 million. But if you want that ice cream, you can have that. Don't worry, it's vegan. Okay, cool. You can have it, baby. But we got to stop eating this stuff. That's not abusive. What's in here? Is that okay? Soy, wheat. Well, we better off just going to get some coconuts and just eating the coconut, baby. Oh yeah, you're right. Boom. She starts being raw vegan, Raw Fruit Goddess. You know what I mean? You're talking to a homeless guy that's been meditating in the snow and in the sun and stuff. And okay, hold on. Then she was eating, like we went to Whole Foods one time and I was like, yo, we only got so much money to payday. So let's, be mindful of whatever we gonna get, and let's, show our friends something, they can eat too. And she went and got like a slice of like vegan pizza from like Whole Foods, some stuff like this. And I said, girl, you make me want to slap you. You make me want to throw that shit on the ground. I just calmly talked to her. I said, girl, if you don't go and put that shit in the trash and come with me, because the thing about it was she only got one slice. She didn't even get 2 slices. I'm like, okay, you didn't even get me none. You could order a whole pizza custom and just wait for them to make it. Eat some salad while you wait. You don't have to eat the one they made already. But then even the ingredients in that is low vibrational. So we don't need to really eat this. I know she needs a treat. She wants to have something. She wants to have fun. She's eating emotionally, like she says in her interview. And I'm like, baby, come with me. We went and got some quinoa, some chickpeas, and we had like some falafel. And the falafel wasn't even the best, but I was just like, let's just try to go less ingredients, less whatever. Let's look at the ingredients on this. At the time we were still studying and stuff. So we had that and made like a salad or something. And I was like, yo, like, I just wanted to eat. Like, I didn't come here to like show off or nothing. I just came here to show like, yo, just eat a big bowl of quinoa. Like, you don't need a whole bunch of ingredients. Like, you get quinoa and pico, that's all you need. You know what I mean? So that's what happened in our relationship. So she's talking about eating raw and stuff, and I'm like, but baby, you was eating poison and stuff when I met you. You was eating that Ethiopian food garbage and you didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, she's not saying the truth. Like, her husband saved her life. Like, I'm amazing. Maybe she don't want y'all to steal me and take me away to some other country and take me away from her. Maybe she want me right where I'm at or something. I don't know. Like, she's not trying to manifest something. Like, she's not respecting her energy. It's like, I'm your husband. Like, I work for you, girl. Like, I wasn't going to really break your hand, but, I had to make myself get in the mode of, like, you got to teach this girl something. And she's acting bad. It was something else she did that was bad. I remember she let some food go rotten that I told her to put in the refrigerator. And I'm like, yo, I went to work and you didn't put the food in the refrigerator and the food went bad. I broke a bone on my own body. I kicked the wall or something and broke up like my foot. So like, I didn't break her bones. I didn't abuse her. I might have yelled and I might have said something like, God dang, girl, like, I went and worked a job in the Matrix and I failed at work and hurt myself. Got right back up and went right back to work to give you my money, and then you let it go. You don't even put the groceries in the refrigerator like a kid. And I'm like, yo, like, you are like a big kid. You young and people been taking care of you and stuff. You ain't been cooking for yourself 24/7. Like, baby, I said, look, baby, we'll go and make a pizza. And we went and made a pizza. And it was really good. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, we can make some little garbage stuff. We made little things. But it's like, it's not a big deal. Like, we can make an ice cream cone for my kid and say, okay, you feel special like you're having ice cream like the other kids. And you can take a picture and remember it. And show the other kids if you want to. The only thing is, though, really, when my son gets older, we don't have to do that no more. We can just make quinoa. When he's a kid, we'll make him waffles. You get what I'm saying? So he think he had a waffle like everybody else. But when he grow up, he don't even have to make waffles no more. You just eat the quinoa with agave on it. Man, now if you have some leftovers and you put it in the freezer, blend it up, and then turn that into a waffle, that's something totally different. So people don't understand, like, you think you're getting a treat, but you're really getting leftovers. You're getting food that got chemicals in it that's supposed to expire already, but we put some salt in it. So now we got to put some more sweetener in it so that it'll taste good. But actually, that's quinoa made yesterday for dinner. But it's not really, really bad leftovers. And we put some maple syrup on it. Now it tastes real good. Hold on, I'm going to be right back. Oh, I mean, it's just like the other day, I was trying to leave some mangoes outside so that they could like ripen faster. And the daggone deers and the raccoons came and ate them. And I said, dang, them were some good ass mangoes, wasn't they? I didn't even get mad, but so, because I put them like in this bag thing, right? But see, what I didn't understand is that raccoons are like monkeys, and they know how to open stuff. Like, you think, okay, I'm gonna put it in a box or something and put it on the front step and it'll be fine. But no, the raccoon know how to open the box and get the mango if it's really good. The raccoon is like smart, but that let me know that the mangoes were really, really good. Like, I'm like, that raccoon wasn't stupid, you know. I'm like, you the one that stole my daggone mango. Like, man, and I'm not shooting at the raccoon. I'm not no crazy person. I'm not trying to catch the raccoon. I just talking to him. I was about to give him some food. I was about to give him some of my lettuce. But I just said, forget it. No, there's a whole bunch of vegetables growing around here. There's plenty of stuff for the raccoon to eat. We got mulberry trees and stuff. So they're probably eating mulberry leaves and stuff. But this is like the ingredients for like this little dessert thing that raw fruit goddess used to eat. And I used to let her get this little dessert coconut thing. And I have not bought that really since we broke up. I've not bought it. It has almonds, cashews, vanilla, and it has some other stuff in it. And I was just like, yo, like, I don't need this stuff. Like, I don't want to eat this, So it's just like, these are the type of things she used to eat when I like met her. And I was just like, yo, you're about to die. You're too skinny. You're like sick. But I was like, I have to save your life, and you have to take this very seriously. When I got with Raw Fruit Goddess, she was like 21, and I was like, you got a boyfriend? She was like, nah. I was like, okay, like, I got to know her, and I was like, yo, I'm spending too much time like talking to you. Like, I need to focus and get my life together and go to work or something. Like, I can't do this again. Like, I did this already with my other wife. I like used to just talk to her and teach her and just talk to her for hours and hours on the phone. Like, I mean, we talked all day, and it was to the point where I wasn't clocking in with my job. And I started telling her, like, do you understand that I'm not making money like I'm supposed to be making because I'm investing in you? And the whole point is with her, I said, look, I can't talk to you no more. Like, unless you like want to pay my phone bill or something, like, I cannot actually talk to you because if my phone is going to be off and I need to go get some groceries, I got to go to work. And I was like, there's only one way that like I could really like continue to just talk to you like this. Like, if you want, we can get married. And if we get married, then you can learn everything. You can own everything. Everything that I own will be yours. Like, she's talking about me like I'm not driving her car. Like, she was talking to me like, oh, this is her car. I'm like, no, it's our car. We're married. Are you crazy? So I'm taking care of the car, working on it, fixing on it. And Star want to be in the baby mama drama movie and was making fun of my car. But I think it's going pretty good. Been getting compliments, and people have been saying, they saw me working on the car and they was like proud of me. And they was like, yo, you really are smart. Like, you know how to fix everything. And I'm like, yeah, kinda. Like, I'm super, super smart. Like, y'all just never seen me with $1 million because I would break the internet. But either way, I'm breaking it right now, and I'm going to play my wife's interview. Hold on.
Course, it's very important to focus on what we do want, but just that awareness of what I didn't want alone was like the big change maker for me. Just the awareness of like, yeah, I don't want to be like tired and burnt out and sick and fatigued, which was a lot of what I saw my family members kind of thought of as like the inevitable. Like, yeah, you just get old and slick and you slow down and that's just life. And I was like, not me. I'm about to be like 100 climbing a tree or something like a little child. So That, and then a lot of the things that I realized was going on in the world as far as our food industry and like the conspiracy theory side of things. But, you know, there's so much going on in the food industry, whether it be processed foods, animal products, just the nature to which food is managed is so far removed from our sacred ancient ways and our natural relationship with what food is, which is really a physical form of spirit that we're putting into our body, and just developing this really sacred relationship with plants. I literally remember a moment along my journey, because as I got more into like, okay, I'm not going to eat just meat anymore. That's how it started out. And then gradually release certain byproducts pretty much over the course of like 5 months until I was like, yeah, just fully with the plants, and then stop cooking my food as much, just kind of eating them as it is, like raw fruit, salads, fresh things, even getting a little bit more gourmet with it as well. It was really this journey of just like sitting with the food, chopping the vegetables. I remember one evening specifically, like I was just making a salad and I was just so present with the whole experience. Like when someone's doing Reiki, I think of like it as food Reiki. Like there's all these beautiful colors and vibrant things that are associated with our chakras as well. And I'm like, this is a really spiritual practice. I'm sitting here, I'm cutting things up and preparing my meal. I'm so grateful for how good my body is going to feel when I intake this. And I feel like that moment was like the light bulb moment that like food is so much more than we think it is. There is this physical food that we put in our body, and then everything is food. And I feel like that really sparked an awareness about
I saw your
just being more present. I feel like once I started slowing down, it really sped up my awakening, so to speak, because I was able to really be present with the process of taking care of me. And I feel like this whole principle that I live by now, which is like living ceremoniously, making life a ritual, really started with how am I feeding myself, which I feel like our society just kind of trains us to be like, yeah, wake up, have breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then now I get up and I'm like, it's very intuitive. Maybe I just want to fast and not have anything until like maybe noon. And then I'll drink some coconut water and then I'll, you know, have some fruit. And it's like, I'm really present and being with my body rather than like, it's this time. So
could you do that before though?
Eat this or do this. The real key thing along my journey was like, am I listening to my body? Am I honoring what maybe she needs or she wants? Am I aware of when I do eat certain things that it has a certain effect on me or it's lowering my energy? And it's a subtle journey. I don't feel like all of this just happened all at once. I feel like it's a lot of trial and error of like seeing what works for you, seeing what doesn't work for you, and honoring where you're most in alignment. And that goes for the way that we nourish our body with food, the kind that we put in our mouth, and the food / energy that we just allow in our life, relationship-wise, the people, the learnings, the TV, the social media, just bringing a sacred awareness to our relationship, like how we are communing with life itself.
I freaking love that. I love that so much. And so, okay, so you talked about like intuitive eating and like learning what felt right for you and all that good stuff. What advice would you give someone, for example, or for the people out there? Because as much as we want to move into intuitive eating, a lot of us have so many traumas with food, right? A lot of us have so many misconceptions about how to eat, what makes you feel better, what to do, how not to do it, and all of these things. And I sometimes feel like moving into intuitive eating with those kind of restrictions that you grew up with, it actually like cuts your intuition in a sense, right? Like, is it intuition or am I craving something? You know, like, because I'm so used to eating that already, right? Like, is it intuition or is it my anxiety or is it all of these things, right? So do you have any advice for anyone or for everybody that feels that way? Because I feel like I feel that way sometimes. Like, I really want to move into intuitive eating, but because of the way that I've been eating for the majority of my life has been not really to my benefit, my body, what is talking to me when it comes to like trying to move into intuitive eating, or even just listening to my intuition more, in general, what advice would you give, people like me that don't really know how to connect with their intuition like that? So like at the moment.
Have you ever even seen her cry?
Yeah, so
have you ever seen her cry?
I really love that you brought this, because definitely an advocate of intuitive eating, living intuitively overall, specifically in our relationship with food. I feel like one of the best things that we can do in order to become more aware with our relationship to something is to take some time away from it. It's just like that saying when you're in a relationship with a partner, like, oh, absent makes the heart grow fonder. But the absence also gives you the opportunity to reflect, reevaluate, see how you can deepen the relationship or make it more intimate or sacred and loving. The same thing we do with food and how we nourish our body. So the thing that has really allowed me to become more intuitive with the way I eat and be aware of like what foods do what for me is fasting, which can be done in so many forms. Like anything can be a fast. Like a fast just means to abstain. Like some people fast from actual activities, like from TV or social media or from sexual relationships. And we can think of our relationship with food the same way, like taking some time away from it to like maybe you do like a day or a couple days, like whatever people are ready for as well. Like this is not a rush thing. It's very much a personal process. And so if it's just like a few days with just water or just juice or just fruit, or maybe you dabble in just like raw food for a while, but really being mindful that whatever you're most attached to, just seeing if you can let go of it for a little while. And then once that fast, it comes to completion, gradually reintroduce things and start small, start with the things that are most easily digestible. And just be very mindful. Like if you haven't had a certain food, like let me just say, for example, pizza or pasta, in several days.
Look at the ingredients.
And then you just start eating it again. You kind of see how I feel. Like, was I more tired that day? Or, was I having some trouble focusing? Or was the time of the day that I was eating that thing? And just developing an awareness about what you're nourishing your body and the way in which you're nourishing your body. And just developing that mindfulness around it and honoring intaking food as a real ritual, like it's sacred ceremony. Specifically, when I talk about plants, like these hold a spirit. They come with the earth. Like we come with the earth and they come with the earth, and we're compatible. And it's also a matter of like finding what resonates with you as well. That goes for like food that we eat every day, as well as when people get into things like herbalism and plant medicine, whether they're psychedelic or not. It's all a matter of what resonates with you, because everything is not for everyone. And I know that there's so many like eating sects these days. Like there's the vegan, the paleo, the keto, all the things. And I personally don't feel like you need to fall under any one label. It's really like what resonates with you. Me, I really resonate with plants, primarily in their raw form. I know that what keeps me vibrant, it what keeps me like lively with a pep in my step, able to like run around and keep up with my son. And like those things are important to me. So it's really a matter of like honoring your lifestyle and tuning into like what your body is feeling like. It's a real meditation, truly.
Wow. Yeah, actually, it's funny that you bring that up, because I was going to ask you about the whole fasting thing. And now that you like put it in so many words, it really does feel like that meditation, because like when you're meditating, your thoughts try to come in that you're so used to food. You're going to get those cravings, right? Like those thoughts or whatever that come in wanting to plague you. And you're going to be like, no, thank you, not today. Or you can like, eat it and then just like pretty much fuck up the meditation in a sense. But when you're fasting, I really, now that you put it in those words, it really does, I guess, feel like a meditation. And so moving into that really quickly, you talked about like fasting for a day, a few days, doing water and stuff. I know that there's a lot of people, obviously, we all kind of like research, quote unquote research, because, you know, we just some of us don't even research. We just hear things and then we're like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. But do you know, or can you explain to us like some of the benefits to like fasting and like water fasting and stuff? Because I know that there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to fasting. Some people do it in a very unhealthy way and like sometimes do it to want to be skinny, sometimes do it to want to lose all this weight. So the intention is not necessarily there to actually like become whole. It's more so to fit certain standards nowadays. And, you know, once you're going into stuff like that, I've heard that you can like lose your period and all of these things. So like, was there anything that you can say pretty much to kind of like calm our nerves for those of us who are like, what do you mean fasting for a whole freaking day or a few days with just water? Because honestly, that kind of scares me a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, can I even go a whole day without eating? Like, but I've been wanting to try. So I would love any tips and tricks that you could give us.
Yeah. So thank you so much for asking that question. Because like literally as you're speaking and asking me things, like certain things are arising for me. And when it comes to fasting, it's really important to honor like whatever the fasting window is going to be, to honor it as a ceremony. And the fasting itself is an intuitive process. It's a part of the whole journey of intuitive eating. And just like to pre-frame coming into the fast, allowing ourselves to, even while we're already eating food, I like to just think of fasting as the process of eating. Like the time that we're intaking is just as important as the time that we're not intaking. And this is like game changer for me, was the realization that we're already fasting. It's just that when you're doing it intentionally, you just might be doing it for longer. Every night when we go to rest, and we're not eating while we're sleeping, we're fasting. That's why when we wake up, that first meal that we have is called a break fast, because we're breaking the fast when we wake up. So you're already fasting. You're just choosing to extend that window of time. And so a real beautiful entry point, I feel, is like what people call intermittent fasting. And some people do that in a sense to which, like, okay, the evening before, they'll maybe stop eating around, you know, between 5 and 7 p.m. And then the next day, instead of like waking up and having breakfast as soon as they get up, like 8 a.m., they'll just extend that to maybe 12 or maybe 2 or 4. And then some people just, you're just having a smaller eating window. Like you might eat the same amount of food, energy, calories during the day. You're just having a smaller eating window and having more time for the body to just rest. Because whenever the body is resting, like when you're fasting and sleeping in the night, it's repairing itself. So this journey of fasting is really a nourishing process as well. Just like when we're intaking food, we're nourishing ourselves. The actual act of not intaking food is also nourishing us too. So the mindset that we go into when fasting, I feel, is so much more important. And this goes for whatever like lifestyle habit changes that we're making. You want the intention behind it to be clear. You have nothing to prove to anyone. You're only on a journey of supporting and loving yourself. You don't need to go on a fast to like look like somebody else or be like someone else's journey, because a fasting journey is a healing journey too. And it's not a linear process, and you do what you're ready for. Because if you do more than you're ready for, you're likely going to like go way back. It's going to defeat the purpose of the process. And so it's time to start small. Like maybe just have one day where you do an intermittent fast, and like maybe you just don't eat for like 4 hours more than when you would usually have breakfast. You just break fast later. And I find that that's a really beautiful start. And then some people just like do 1 day a week or 1 day for the month. And then some people want to extend it further to 3 days. It's like whatever you're ready for. There's very extreme versions of fasting. Like some people go on like a raw food fast where they're still eating food. It's just not cooked. And then some people will just do juices. Some people water, just coconut water. I love coconut water. So that's something I might do soon. Watermelon. I love to just have watermelon for a couple days. Like, that's heaven to me. And then some people are just strictly water or dry. Dry fasting is also a thing, which means literally no food, no water.
Watermelon with seeds.
Or whatever period of time of someone's choosing. And I don't recommend someone like jump all the way into the deep end, because then it's like, who are you really doing this for?
Mm-hmm.
First thing, for any ritual or ceremony that
you
we
need
do
watermelon
in life,
with seeds.
this specifically in relationship to food, what is the purpose or intention? I feel like the highest intention of anything that we're doing in the realm of fasting or eating better is about healing our relationship with food and our body, you know? And so going into it with that purpose, like, we're not trying to harm ourselves. We're not trying to push ourselves. This is not a competition. This is nothing. This is between you, your body, and God, source, the universe, and allowing it to be a really beautiful process. And then a lot of people, when they'll do a fast, they'll have a goal in mind, or an intention, as I like to call it, of a certain length of time. I like to leave it open. Like, that doesn't mean you're quitting or, you know, anything like that. It's just like, be intuitive, know when your body is ready into intake again, and allow space for that. So that window of time that we're fasting is really a sacred space. It's a ritual space. It's a meditative space. And you'll know when it's time to close the ceremony and honor that. It's the energy that we do it with. Just like when we're eating or we're not eating, like, we don't want this energy of like shame or guilt or trying to prove ourselves behind it. This is purely a love process. And I really only recommend that anyone embark on this type of journey if it's coming from a love place, because then, you know, we can risk trying to hurt ourselves in the process, especially if we've previously had maybe a dysfunctional relationship with food, because I know eating disorders is a thing as well. I myself know, I've never had a diagnosis, but I know in subtle ways everybody eats emotionally. And so even like this pre-frame, the energy that you go into the fast with, starting to become aware of like when we're eating something, is it because we really want to nourish ourselves and this is going to feel really good in our body? Or are we doing it because, you know, we just had an argument with someone, or we're feeling kind of down, or we're upset? And just becoming aware of like when we're reaching for food, when something else could really be supporting us in that way. We talk about this a little bit in NLP, like prime concerns, when people are like, you're trying to fill a void with something that really can't fill it. And that's when people end up like overeating and things of that nature. It's like the food is not really going to do it. It's just like a coping mechanism. So becoming aware of when we're using food as a coping mechanism, just like anything else can be an addiction, so can food. And just that, developing that awareness about like when we're reaching for food, is it coming from a love place?
The hand meditation.
An honoring of the plant itself,
when you're reaching
and
for
an
the
honoring
food
of the body that you're putting the food into.
Reaching for the food.
Yes, I love that.
Hand meditation.
I love the way that you just talk about the relationship with food. And I feel like that's a really integral part when it comes to really healing your relationship with food in your body. It's like how you're also showing up for it, how you're showing up with it, you know, and like, it's like you said, trying to make everything in life like a ritual, you know, something that you can really put your intention in and set something where you're so mindful and present of like eating, what it's doing, how it may be doing it, how it's making you feel, how you feel afterwards. I think it's so beautiful. And you spoke about healing your relationship with food and stuff, and like how in reality, it's not just what you're eating, but more so the mindset that you have at that moment. And so speaking to someone, myself, that doesn't have the healthiest relationship with food, you know, and obviously it has a lot to do with my mindset and stuff. What tip would you give me to really start giving, like, pretty much pushing me in the right direction, right? Like, so what are some things that you did for yourself that can translate to everyone else, including myself, where we can start changing our mindset to really want to, not even want to, but more so.
Yes. Okay. So first tips, I did mention like the intermittent fasting thing. So And let's not like get scared. Just like I said, from a love place, just being aware of like when we're eating, okay, when you're getting ready to be like, oh, I'm hungry. Is it the language in your mind of like, I'm supposed to eat right now because it's this time? Or is it like, I'm really feeling the call to nourish my body in this way? And then to implement right away, like when it is that meal time and you have decided like, yeah, I'm ready to nourish my body, and that positive, healthy intention is there, really creating some sacred space around that time, like whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's like getting my fruit, like or maybe it's going to the grocery store as well. It might start there. The process might start there. Like when you go to the farmer's market or the grocery store or wherever, and you actually source the fruit, the food. I always eat fruit because that's like my main thing. Or if you live where there's actual trees and you can pick it, that's like even a more intimate spiritual way of connecting with the food that you're going to eat as well. I know that a lot of people say prayers before their meals and actually give thanks for, you know, who grew it, who harvested it, who brought it to where you got it from, and really honoring the journey that this food took to make it to your plate, so to speak. Something I really love to do is like my meditative ritual with food is like, I'll go get my fruits, I'll wash them up, I'll like get a really beautiful big wooden bowl or something, just like the vibes that I like. And I go get a blanket and I'll sit either outside in the garden or by the beach or wherever on the patio. And I just sit down in the sun and I'm just like peeling and eating, or if it's a salad, you know, I have it prepared. And it's just like this really beautiful space of which maybe I'm like just listening to the birds. Like I'm really making a moment for it. I'm honoring each bite. I'm really tasting the experience. I'm really present with it. It's a pleasure practice as well, like starting to anchor like love and pleasure with the food process, because it's a lot of it is about the vibration. I like certain foods, but you don't have to eat what I eat in order to have a healthy relationship with food. It's the vibration that we put towards it. So
you do need to
just alone starting to make sacred space for mealtime. I know like certain families grew up to which like family dinners is like always a must. The meals are prepared, we set the table, everyone gathers around. I remember as a child, like we used to do it.
Why did she say you
and
don't
then
have
as
to
we
eat
got older, we wasn't really doing it anymore. Like everyone started doing their own thing, after school activities. Everyone's on their phone all the time. That was when smartphones started popping. So family dinners kind of fell off. But even if we're not, you know, with a whole big group of family, maybe you have a partner and you can just do that with your partner. I like to travel and things with my son. So I like that I can even just make a little meal time for him. Like I remember when we were in Costa Rica, it was such a joy to just like wake up,
for me,
sit outside, listen to the birds, cut open a watermelon, and we just have 2 spoons and we're just sharing it. And that's our like ceremonial ritual around food.
We did that too.
So just like really anchoring in positive energy, loving energy to the experience of having mealtime. So whether that's your breakfast or your lunch, or your dinner, or maybe your one meal a day, as some people do if they're intermittent fasting, whatever that looks like for you, creating sacred space for it. If that means lighting a candle, so be it. If that means just setting your phone to the side and just like fully enjoying your meal and not like trying to do work while you're eating. Like, how can you just fully be with that experience, honor every bite that you're taking, tasting the food? Like, we're in such a fast society. Most people eat in their car. I read some research that like the big percentages of the population, like most people eat in their car, like for most meals out of the day. Yeah, it's the true thing. And I remember I used to do that when I was like, I'd go to work, I'm going to auditions, I'm going to school, like running around, like, where do you have the time? And this is not to say that there's any perfect way to do this, but in whatever way that you can find that you're honoring it, even if you're having a car meal, how can you have the most present and pleasurable car meal? You know, just like really be there. And really be giving thanks and gratitude, you know, even if you're not like sitting there saying a whole prayer, but just like, how can you really be with that experience, create sacred space for it? And when, you know,
I'm not
allow
gonna
that
speak on what you
experience
just
to be
said. I'm not gonna speak
complete
on
when
it.
it is, and like just honor
God,
that space and time. Like I feel like that
Jesus.
is the number one thing I would recommend that will completely shift everything in the way that you have a relationship with food and everything else. Like whatever you're going to do, be present with it.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much because I'm that person that has her phone, is trying to do some work, put something on Netflix, like whatever it is. Like seriously, me and my husband Hector, we kind of created this very bad habit of when we're eating dinner, we'll sit down and we'll pop open the laptop and we'll find something to watch. And so recently I went to my first doctor's appointment with my naturopathic doctor. And I told her, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I get bloated. Like, you know, I feel like I can't digest my food, yada, yada. And she was like, do you eat fast? And I was like, actually, I feel like I do. I feel like I inhale my food.
What are
By
you
the time
eating?
I'm finished with my food, everybody's still
What are
like
you
midway.
eating?
And I'm just like, whoa, like what? But I also realize that the majority of the time that I'm
Chew
eating,
your food.
I'm just like not present. I'm in my head, either thinking of the things that I have to do, or I'm doing some things that I have to do, or I'm watching violence makes me uncomfortable for whatever reason, you know? So it's just like, it's something that now that it's popped up like twice already in my life in just the few, like these last 2 weeks, you know, like.
See, she talking about presence and mindfulness. And the problem is raw fruit goddess mama was abusing her. When I came there, her mama hit her and called her fat. Because I was feeding her quinoa and stuff. And she was gaining weight. They wanted to pimp her in the model industry. That's her family. They came and was talking to me how they invested in her and put her in model school and all this. Y'all shot down our dream of growing vegetables and climbing trees and growing soursops and stuff. You cut down our dream. So then we went out there, met Scary Carrie, and then we had to get away from him at the holistic village. She didn't talk about that. That stuff she should have talked about in the interview. Stay away from the holistic village with Scary Carrie. That's her mom that abused her, shot down her dream, and then lied on me, her husband. And I didn't say anything about her negative. And she called me a pickaninny. She didn't say, oh, that young man, he's tall and handsome and he's quick with his words, or he's a fast talker, or he's she didn't say all that. She was just like, yo, get him out of here, and lied on me. Her mom actually abused her by stealing her boyfriend. Her mom came and got her hair did and came out trying to look cute. And they told me to come and hang out with her. And next thing you know, I was like, yo, I want to talk about this garden and I want to build something for my kids. I got a lot of kids. So they started playing with me and shot me down. They actually robbed her of her relationship. That's what I don't think she's understanding. Your family robbed you of your dream. You chose to get married and have a husband and start a family, and they did not invest in your dream. They shot your dream down, and you had to steal money from your mama because they stopped giving you money that they used to give you. So when she's talking about crazy stuff happening and abusive stuff, I'm like, I never abused this girl. Her family abused her. See, a vegan would never talk shit about another vegan, especially when you accept it. You chose to be in every situation that happened. Yo, family, these people aren't even vegans. So they kill things to live their matrix lives. They kill animals, natural or unnatural, to live in the matrix. But you say that your husband is abusive, but he's a vegan. Vegans don't kill nothing to live. So why are you talking bad about your husband? Because you might be crazy and might not understand who your real enemy is. Your enemy is your family. They want you not to be in a relationship. They want to raise the baby and play and act like a family, but the baby daddy can't come around or ain't around. That's not a family. That's a TV show. Now your daddy dead. I'm going to move off of this.
Account every single bite you're taking so that you're able to digest it, and you don't have these issues with bloating and stuff. So I think that that's so sacred, and like really being able to enjoy it. Like you really can't enjoy it if you're not paying attention to it. And I think that's why a lot of us like have these cravings for really unhealthy foods, because it's not like we're not even paying attention to what it's doing to our body. We're just consuming them like mindlessly. Right. And then on top of that, we proceed to doing mindless things. And so therefore we don't even notice that like, oh shit, I feel sluggish. I feel like shit. But because I wasn't paying attention, I didn't realize that it was because I just ate this fucking 2 pounds of fucking Asian noodles that I shouldn't have eaten, or like these gummies. And that used to be me all the time. I'm switching over to, a more mindful way of eating, obviously slowly, because it's been a very slow process for me. But I think like just listening to you talk and really integrating with the whole like making everything a ritual, I think it just makes it even more fun for those of us who have that very busy mindset. Like we're always trying to do things, and so if we're always trying to do things and we bring it back to creating a ritual with how you're eating and being very intentional with it, it's like you're really like kind of making it fun in a way. Like, how can I make this mine? What can I do to pizzazz this? Like kind of like that dude with the salt, the way that he puts salt on shit. He became a meme. But that's like a ritual that he did. He would salt everything like looking like little claws. So it's just like
my wife didn't tell y'all. I think
it's very, very, very awesome that you just like mentioned that, because I feel like when people talk about food and healthy eating, it's always what you're eating.
I'm a real chef,
and like, but not necessarily how you're eating what you're eating.
Who I expose,
right? Or what you're doing as you're eating, which I think are just as important. And so I think it's very, very nice that you're talking about the stuff that people don't normally talk about when it comes to food. So as you've been in your like healing journey as far as like food goes, from what we spoke about when we were in training together, you also really, really took a deep dive into herbalism. And so can you tell us a little bit about that and what herbalism is for everybody listening that has no idea what it means?
Why she ain't talk about her garden for real?
So definitely, I feel like herbalism has been a real deepening of my journey and relationship with food, because I definitely love to keep things simple. And I feel like I do in a way with herbalism as well. There was just a certain point in my journey where I was really starting to learn about the really potent ancient plants that cure
that I taught you about,
like the bush doctor stuff, which is so fascinating to me because both of my parents are from Jamaica and I grew up there back and forth. And so there's so many like plants that just grow wild that literally as a child or whoever, you're just like stepping past it. We don't really give it a second thought. But like real potent medicine that is like the enemy of Western medicine today, because the plants can do so much. Like I was saying earlier, we come with the earth, the plants come with the earth, and nature, source, has designed our environment in a way that for anything that we could be suffering from physically, there is a plant that heals for that thing. And that just was magic to me at that time, because, we're really programmed into our society that when anything goes wrong, we go to someone else, to get the answer. And it was really resonating with me that it's like, I can go to nature for the answers. Like they're all there, and just learning more about the inherent wisdom that the plants have, because our body also has this wisdom to naturally heal itself. And then you can just get the plants that are supportive to that process. So along my journey, when I was really getting into herbalism, I was like deeply soul calling to go to Honduras, which I know is a home of yours as well.
Okay,
that was my home for about...
Okay, so she said she was called to go to Honduras. I'm the one that said, baby, we could stay in the Matrix or we can go to Honduras. What do you want to do? If we go, I might die. We might lose all our money. I don't know what's going to happen. We might work for Dr. Sebi. or his family. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's go. So when she says deeply called, she didn't say her husband directed her and gave her a choice. Either we can do business in America or we can go to Honduras. She chose to go to Honduras. So hold on.
Baby at the time, and I just had like a whole jungle mama herbalist
with your
student
husband
adventure. This mentor of mine who I didn't get to meet in person physically, but I really soaked up all of his wisdom, was from Honduras as well. His name is Dr. Sabi.
Dr. Sabi
he literally
was a
passed
crackhead.
like 2 months before I was able to make it there. But I just loved soaking up the wisdom. Like I say, the energy behind the principles. Like, of course, the plants itself. I actually have like this whole list of like 200 plants of like a bunch of things that most people never really heard of, like sarsaparilla and cortocito negro, and just like the list goes on and on. Of plants that do different things for the body, whether it be like detoxing the lymphatic system, cleansing the blood, healing the adrenal glands, all the things that like people really struggle with in today's society as far as like the nervous system health as well. And the energy behind what I was learning is really that like Mama Earth, the source, the original, the indigenous, has all the answers and the solutions. And before we had the Western world as it is today, and like medical business and hospitals, like we had the healing. We had the healing, like how we were. It's not like we're coming from being like uncivilized. We were living a life with supreme, ancient, loving intelligence in the wild, natural world. And just being able to honor that part of myself, that indigenous part of myself, that ancestral wisdom that has been carried through my DNA and also through the DNA of the plants. And so this journey of herbalism is also like a journey of spirit and reconnecting to like that inner medicine woman, that native part of us, a remembrance, if you will, of how much intelligence is naturally a part of our ancient culture. Like we had our own version of hospitals. You would go see the herbalists. Like these are the leaders of our community. The healers are the original leaders of the community, which is like a principle that I live by today.
So what am I?
One of those leadership roles is people who dealt with plant medicine. Some people it's like shamans. Some people it's like mentors and intuitive guides as well. And so getting into herbalism was very much that process for me of just reconnecting with that part of myself that is so wise and knows how to go to nature and self for the answers rather than someone outside of myself who honestly may not really have your best interest at heart. They kind of just want some money and keep you sick. Just saying. Okay,
I'm like, I'm coming at all of your hints right there because I feel like we believe in a lot of the similar like things, which is it's so crazy to me, honestly, when we were in training and you were like, oh, you know, I went and traveled to Honduras for 8 months, and I was like, what? What? I swear to God, nobody ever knows where Honduras is at all. Like, they're like, I'm sorry, what? Is that like a part of Mexico? And I'm just like, okay, first of all, racist. Not at all. Like, but, you know, when you said that, I was like, wow, like, this is so freaking cool. And then they paired us together for a breakthrough day, which was amazing. And I was like, wow, the fact that you went there and not only went there, lived there, but not only lived there, you went and you actually learned from the successors of Dr. Sabi, which, you know, for those of you who are not familiar with his work, he actually won over the U.S. in court about being able to heal cancer with herbs and herbalism. And so a lot of people have tons of conspiracies, which I'm sure you, Malika, know a lot of them too. But, you know, have a lot of conspiracies that the U.S. went and killed him because, you know, they didn't want it to go out into.
So she learned from me. I'm Dr. Sabi Jr. I made the Dr. Sabi food list. Then we made a better food list. She's talking about my website, our work together, and I, the one that took her to Honduras. I'm the one that said, let's go to Honduras. She's not saying who the divine spark is, who's the leader, who's the... She's going to talk down on me. She's not going to... Okay. She told the story like she went to Honduras by herself. She almost act like I wasn't even with her. Hold on.
He won that because he was able to prove it with actual clinical cases that he was able to cure these people. And that was crazy. And like, it's so crazy because so many people talk about him, right? Like Nipsey Hussle talks about him. Lisa Lefta Lopez said that it was said that she actually passed away on her way from visiting Dr. Sebi, right? So it's just like so many things. And so when you said that too, I was like mind blown. I'm like, girl, you are like a walking messiah. Like, this is so dope, you know? But, you know, moving back.
She said, you're a walking messiah. Is this trading places? Is she my twin? Because when she gets a curly afro, we look alike. But she's a Jamaican Native American. I'm a Native American from North America, Cherokee, Blackfoot. And my dad was born in Bermuda because our family was in the Army, in the Air Force and stuff, Coast Guard. So my different family members could be born different places because we worked for the daggone Coast Guard and stuff. So, yeah, the problem is, do y'all want to know what my name is? My name is Jesus. Do I have to prove it? Yeah, okay. Well, my name is Christ. Christ. Jesus was not, his name wasn't Christ. He was a Christ or the Christ. So my name is Christ. But then my other name comes from the Masai. Masai. But the Masai name is like Messiah. So why did my parents give me this name from the Masai and the name is Moran? So my name is Jesus or Christ the Messiah, and other people calling my wife a Messiah. Well, obviously Jesus can make you like Jesus. What would Jesus do? Be like Jesus. So she's going to be like Jesus because birds of a feather flock together. Of course, if she's the wife of Jesus, then she's going to be like the Virgin Mary or she's going to be a Messiah, right? Okay, then.
To believe that, you know, you have to take certain medicines to feel better, right? And that plants aren't really there to nourish us. And it's so crazy because when you were talking about the earth and it being, you know, made to work with us perfectly, it kind of reminds me of like when moms, you know, have a baby. You can give someone else your breast milk if they need it, but it's not going to actually support their baby as well as yours because every mother's breast milk is made specifically for their child, right? So like it's made with the perfect DNA match to help them heal, grow, and expand in all ways. And so when you were talking about nature in that way, I was like, wow, that's pretty much like, well, obviously we're children of Mother Earth, but like it boggled my mind just making like putting two and two together. Like her milk is her veggies, her fruits, her herbs, and they're perfectly designed for us. And I think it's so beautiful, and it kind of takes me back to this. So I took a social anthropology class and in college, and my teacher he did his dissertation in Brazil, in the jungles of Brazil, with an indigenous clan out there. And anyways, he got there 2 days in, he fucking jumped off a boat and like tore his leg up. Like, I don't know how he cut it, but it was a very, very deep cut, a cut that definitely needed stitches. And so the city was like a day's travel. And I remember him talking about how like, he was like, I need to go to the doctor. He's like, we need to go get stitches on this thing. I need some medication. And obviously in the middle of his dissertation, he has to embed himself into the culture of the indigenous tribe that he's in. And so they were like, no, like we have a medicine man. He will come and he will heal you. And he was like,
so in Honduras, I got hurt and I needed stitches. The raw fruit goddess put me out the house because our family was tripping. And I was just like, you know what? I have done so much trying to teach you that I'm gonna do whatever you say. I'm gonna get out the house. Forget it. I left the house with no weapons, no shoes, no socks. And she told me to walk to a mountain. And I started walking, and people started saying racist stuff to me. I didn't make it to the mountain. I started fighting people, throwing rocks, hitting people in the head with big boulders. I had started feeling like Superman, and I was mad about Dr. Sebi dying and them being racist and all the things they did to Dr. Sebi. And I said, you know what? My wife told me to go for a walk. Y'all fucked up. So I started acting like the real me. I ended up needing stitches because a bunch of kids surrounded me, and I let the kids beat me up with bats. I'm like, I'm not going to hurt no kids now. So I went to the hospital, said, give me something natural. I just came from Dr. Sebi's house. They said, oh, we know who you talking about. Gave me dragon's blood. Then I told them, yo, I need something for pain because I broke my arms and shit. They was like, yo, this dude is a doctor or something. How is he telling us what to do and directing us? They were amazed. They were like, what? And I was like, yo, just give me some water. They were like, what? You are bleeding all over the place and you're asking us for water. I was like, yeah, I don't want no IV. Water is made to go in your mouth, not in your veins. So give me some water to drink. So I got the water and I left the hospital. When I went out and lived in the streets, I went and asked the people for their cactus that was growing in the yard all big. It was a big, huge cactus. As big as a house almost. I said, can I have some of this cactus? They were like, yeah. I didn't go to no medicine man. Didn't nobody heal me. I was healing myself. I was hanging out with Rastafarians, but they were learning from me. They were trying to give me chicken and stuff. I was like, man, I don't want no chicken from y'all. I don't want no coffee. The Rastafarians was like, dang, you a real Rastafarian. I said, I tried to tell y'all that. I said, I just cut my dreadlocks to come to America. I mean, when I left America, I cut my dreadlocks. Not when I came back. I cut them before we even got on the plane. Before COVID and all that stuff, I had dreads. Like she got dreads. So anyway, let me just keep going.
Fix me, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give him like 2 days. If I'm not healed, I'm going to take the trip and go to the doctor. Anyways, the doctor comes, or the medicine man comes, and he says that all he did was crush up some herbs, and then he put him on his leg, and he prayed on his leg for about an hour, maybe more. And he was just looking at this man like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is not going to help me, like you're not even doing anything to my leg. But no, that 2 days later, his leg was completely healed.
I did that in Usha Village.
It wasn't like completely away, but
I did that in Usha Village.
Completely closed. Like,
not
it was
Usha, down the street.
And he was so astounded by that he was just like, this is the first time that I realized that just because you don't believe in something, it doesn't mean that it's not true. And like, the earth is here to heal us, and people that
when I lived in Honduras, I did that.
We've just forgotten.
A hurt boy.
And so like,
his leg was hurt.
When you were talking about herbs and them just having this like
his
great wisdom, it really took me back to that story, because I remember I heard that and I was like, that's fucking insane.
That's a story,
yet,
huh?
we still
I told
want
you a real
to drink
story
some ibuprofen instead of drinking some tea.
I did.
Right? We want to drink something that gives us all these other symptoms rather than going into something that may actually cure that and not give us any symptoms after that.
So I was putting Nopales cactus on my cuts. A boy came by with a cut in his leg. He was bleeding. I saw them, and I took one of my cactus and cut it open and told him he could put that on his cut. And I had to go and pick some more cactus. I said, this just grew right around, you know what this is? And he was like, yeah, I know. I said, this is what you're supposed to have been putting on your cuts, man. I'm the medicine man, not, I went to see one. I was the medicine man. I was smoking holy basil using cactus, eating watermelon and bananas and plantain. But I don't suggest eating those bananas or plantain. They did have burro bananas, but they were harder to find. I did find burro bananas though.
working under like
Wakanda.
Dr. Sebi's successors
The
felt like
Matrix.
for you? How long were you there? And the fact that you were there
The
with
Matrix.
your 4-month-old son. Like, how did that all work for you,
The
girl?
Matrix.
Like, you're just over here doing it all.
Jada Pink.
Wow. Yeah. So definitely that whole experience of moving to Honduras, living there, and until it was time for me to leave and I returned here to Florida, that whole journey was in mission for real. So much growth that happened in that time. So many challenges. I'll really try and keep it simple because I feel like I could that experience was a whole movie, like for real. But
They tried to poison us.
yeah, so at the time I moved down there initially with my son and my son's father. And we actually stayed at Usha Village, which is Dr. Sebi's healing center village in near La Ceiba, Honduras, so by the Caribbean coast of the country.
My wife.
And it was really beautiful to be able to meet some of his children, his nephews. I was welcomed by certain people and certain people I wasn't so welcomed by. I'm grateful for the people who welcomed me, like sea moss and stuff and herbs, which is really beautiful. But yeah, a really beautiful experience. So grateful I was able to have that experience with my son. And since then, we've gone on to travel to like the Virgin Islands and Costa Rica. I just have a thing for the tropics as well. So
I'm international.
I was definitely in my element, especially in that beginning of stages of motherhood. I was really going out there to learn from, like Sebi's people and the way that he was doing things there, as well as I've always also had visions of actually buying land in parts of the world, tropical place where I can like grow my own fruit orchard and, develop my own type of holistic sustainable lifestyle in an environment like that as well. So these were all like the catalyst, the motivation for going there. And upon being there, I lived there for a total of 8 months. I was also with my son's father. It was a very abusive relationship. So that was also very much the catalyst for what I do today as well.
So let's talk about the abuse then. Let's talk about it because I'm tired. Oh no, we going over. So let me just restart this. Ouch, and just a lot of shit. Smokes a lot of weed. And she's so crazy, she forgets that I'm her father. And I'm not dead. I'm her father now. Her father is dead, and I'm her father now. And we have a child. Okay? Her parents are grandparents. She's a grandmother. A grandmother really just means a great mother. To be grandiose. Grand. She is the best mother. But when she say that she was in an abusive relationship, y'all are like, what? You abuse that skinny little girl? All she do is eat leaves and rabbit food. She ain't nothing but a little giraffe over there looking all like Bambi dancing around here in the Matrix. You know what I mean? She ain't nothing but a giraffe. So, that's the kind of stuff that she'll be like, yo, he called me a giraffe. But everybody loves giraffes. It's like, that's not abusive. He's joking with you. He's calling you something beautiful on earth because he doesn't, like, if somebody else call you a lioness or a goddess and a lioness, you're like, oh, wow, that's so cool. But the lion is not the coolest animal in the jungle. You know what I mean? Y'all think it is, but it's not. Or in nature. The lion don't even live in a jungle. That's the crazy part. The Lion of Judah lives in savannas. Do y'all know where Savannah is? It's in Atlantis. Where is that? Georgia. Savannah, the Lion of Judah, Rastafari, the Black Buddha Christ, will come back in the year 2021, and you will all see that he is truly Lord God, self-God, master of all. But y'all think a lion live in a jungle. And she's a Rastafarian, so she know how important that lion is. I don't have to go all into crazy stuff. Now, is she lying? Because, see, you catch a tiger by the tail, you catch a lion by the tail. Kenya, Jordana James, catch a tiger by the tail. So, if my brother is in Black Panther, and I'm trying to tell her, like, yo, we gotta look out for paparazzi and stuff like that, like, already. And my girlfriend working for T.I. and Outkast and all these people, and it's like, you gotta get ready to cook for them. Because somebody is poisoning us. You gotta be ready. You got enough. I didn't actually slap it out her hand, though. So she say abusive relationship is like, he just used a lot of words. Well, I thought, like, kids, when we're kids, we could call each other all kind of fun names. We call each other all kind of names, you know? And I thought we were having fun. I thought she was like my little giraffe. You know, I wasn't trying to be abusive. I love giraffes. I never ate a giraffe either. I never even seen one really up close, but I want to go see them giraffes. Did y'all see when I showed y'all the giraffe? You could drive through the little park with the kids and they could feed giraffes. I'm like, oh my God, because only we know what to really eat. So she can break the internet right now and go to the drive-through giraffe zoo and go give the giraffe some of the mangoes and watch what the giraffes do. The giraffe might goddamn jump in the car and jump on top of it. I don't know what they might do. Y'all be nature. She's a goddess now, but she got to do more goddess stuff. Sitting down in an interview that's not a video interview, where they're not even seeing your glory and beauty, is below you. You're a supermodel doing a phone interview. No, that's supposed to be impossible. Y'all supposed to be doing simultaneously. Y'all doing a YouTube video or something with this video. And it wasn't supposed to be done like this where you're talking about somebody abusing you. Okay, so what happened? I'm rolling up a joint. Like Dr. Sabi. And I'm like, I already talked to them about the government and everything. I'm sitting around just rolling me a cigarette. And then all of a sudden, she starts talking like really crazy at me. Like, yo, we need to get out of here right fucking now. And I'm like, why? What's going on? And she's like, you're about to go to jail. Like, and somebody was looking at me like, yo, what are you doing over there? And I let them see what I was doing. And she was like, let's get out of here. And I was like, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up. And I was like, be quiet. And she was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm doing some Mason shit. First of all, the motherfucker couldn't even, if he don't got on his glasses, he can't see what I'm actually rolling up. So I want him to know that I'm not rolling up drugs. That's the main thing. First impression, last impression. Am I rolling up a cigarette? Am I rolling up some drugs? He see that I'm rolling up weed. I roll it up. He don't say nothing to me. I'm about to light it up. She's like, yo, you about to go to jail. Da, 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 da. I'm like, nigga, chill out. We work with the hospital. I'm Dr. Sabi. I made the website. Like, shut up, girl. Chill out. And I smack her in the mouth. I'm like, be quiet. I let them know, like, she's in her proper place. Like, that's my wife. She's tripping right now, acting crazy because she got a little scared. But, like, I'm walking around that mug with gold pyramids on my hat and a dolphin. And I'm like, chill out, girl. I am the president. I rule the world. Just chill out. She thinking, oh, you about to go to jail. You about to have to fight the police. Or not again. You're going to jail again. Like, she thinking all kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, hold on. Let me open the window in here. Smoking my cigarette. She like, yo, you know, you about to go to jail. I'm like, smacked her right in the mouth. She kept talking and saying some more shit. I smacked her in the mouth again. I said, and I walked off. I was like, I told you to be quiet. And I walked off. Then she walked to me. She came back to me and was like, she said something to me. And I was like, Nigga, I already told you to be quiet. I heard what you said. Like, I'm not scared of nothing. Just chill out. Let's see what really happens. Did you just see that I could smack you in the mouth in public view and nothing happened? I'm a giant. Why mess with a giant? She doesn't understand what's like really what's happening. You know, so there was a police station right there. And I'm like, you could go to get them if you want to go get them. I don't care. Like, whatever. She got my baby. I'm walked off. She followed me. I'm like, okay, you can come with me. I said, hey, you want to hit this joint? And she said, yep. Then she hit the joint with me and smoked the joint. So then I start walking down the street with her. We chilling. I'm like, yo, I feel bad. I'm like, you know what? I never even smacked this girl for real. Like, she's so crazy, been driving me. Golly, she about to really fuck up. So I look on the side of the road and I see like this blueberry growing on a tree. And I'm like, okay, I go and climb the tree or something and grab the berry. I don't know what this berry is and what it's going to do. I go pick up a mushroom. Random mushroom. I don't know what's about to happen. I say, look, I'm about to eat this. And she was like, okay, whatever. I actually broke the law, my law. I would normally never pick up no random stuff like that and just start being like, I'm about to eat it. I'm a guru and I know what I'm doing. I don't fuck around like that. I showed her so she could tell me this one is safe or that one's not safe or whatever. I showed her just like a customer or like a child. I said, I'm going to accept whatever she decide. And if this kills me, oh well, I feel bad for slapping her. But if I die from eating this, then, or whatever happens to me, you know, she'll know like, yeah, yo, that's not safe or that's dangerous. Why did you do that? It's like, cause I felt bad about hitting you in the mouth, you know, because she's so crazy. I'm like, you really was about to turn it into a situation. We about to go to jail. So I ate the mushroom and I ate the berry. Some people thinking about third eye and superpowers and mushrooms. This was not what happened to me. I got very, very sick. It started throwing up and stuff. And I knew that could happen. I felt like I was about to die. So she knows what happened because she saw me. And I threw up for like a whole 2 days. It was not fun, but I actually after it, I probably was great because my body was I was fasting, I was cleansing. It's probably really good for me. But it reminded me of this berry that Dr. Sebi said this lady ate and it was making her sick and it killed her. And I was just like, I'm going to show her what power can do. Whether I die or not, a lesser human being would have died. So I technically kind of died. But I was so powerful thanks to her help and us working together that I did not die. Yet, if she was a teacher or a mother, which she is, and now she's a teacher, you gotta teach the children not to do that kind of stuff. I knew not to do this, but I just wanted to do something stupid. And I said, let me just show her what I'm about to do so she knows, he's about to be sick. He's not about to get superpowers. You know what I mean? He's not about to trip out. I wasn't trying to trip out. I assumed that I was going to be sick and that I was going to not feel good. I did not know how bad it was going to be, but I took the blueberry and I rubbed it on my third eye. And I just was like, I don't care what happens. Either I'm going to wake up and my body is going to eat the berry and live, or it's going to poison me and I'm going to die. My third eye is going to wake up. Something about to happen today. Because I don't like the reality that I'm existing in, and I'm so mad. I was mad at everybody. I was not really mad at her as much, but more her family. And I was mad at the people. All the people that didn't listen to Dr. Sebi, that did him wrong, Carrie, and just even like, I didn't even know his kids, but people the invisible people. All the people, Queen Afua, all these people, Chef Aki, I was mad at them, but I didn't even know who I was mad at. So I was like Wolverine. And I was probably very scary, but it's like, I'm your husband. I'm not going to kill you in here. So we go back to the room, and it was so crazy because something happened that I'm not going to talk about that she did that was stupid. But that doesn't matter. But something else really bad happened. Like, I decided, like, okay, I'm laying down, and I think I asked her to help me or to do something because I couldn't get up. And I wasn't feeling good. And she knows that I'm sick. And she jumped on my back and punched me in my spine and punched me in my neck. And I was like, yo, I needed you to rub it, not punch me. And I'm like, that is something that could paralyze me. Like, you cannot do magic like that. You cannot touch people's spines like that. That is fucking crazy. Don't never do that. And luckily, I didn't, I wasn't like really injured really bad, but it hurt really, really bad. And she could have did it better. It actually just healed me, which is what I wanted her to do. But it kind of just like fucked me up a little bit. So I got up and I was mad as fuck. And next thing I know, like, she tries to like grab a knife. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I just try to wrestle her and grab the knife from her. And I made her like drop it, but I didn't hurt her at all. Like, it was like arm wrestling. We were arm wrestling for this dang knife. So I'm fucked up. And she just punched me in my dang spine. And I'm like barely alive. And she was like stronger than me. So I was like, yo, I don't know if this girl about to stab me with this goddamn knife, but this shit is getting crazy over here. I don't know how high she is, but god dang, girl, like let go, like put the knife down. So I'm like, I'm not gonna hit her, I ain't gonna touch her, but we arm wrestling for this dang knife. So I get her to drop the knife. And then I like tell her to calm down or something. And then I pick up the knife and I give her the knife. And I was like, don't do nothing crazy with that dang knife, girl. And that's what happened in our relationship. That's the abusive relationship. We arm wrestled one time, and we I mean, like, I don't know and understand, like, she can say grown-up words. Like, she could say, that was a stupid ass idea, motherfucker. Why did you give me the knife back? Why did you even arm wrestle me for it? Because I just wanted to tell you to calm the fuck down. Before. Then I gave her the knife. I didn't cut her, I didn't hurt her, I didn't break her finger, none of that. It was all imagination. She can't say that I broke her finger. I broke her car. I got in a car accident. Yeah, that totally happened. And I hurt myself. But I never broke her dang finger. So I don't know why she tripping. I got a new car. Like, I thought she was going to come and take the car from me. My baby mamas could take these cars. I don't give a dang about these cars, man. That's the fun part. See, when she tell y'all, oh, the father of the kid, no, her husband. Because that website is mine. And if I get a new whatever, website, it's partly hers too. I can't say that I made that food list without her help or my other wife help. The other wife that works with New Life, she helped us make that website. So she not even telling y'all about New Life and the fact that, like, my other wives helped make the website. And it's free for them and everyone else. I give it to y'all. It's free right now. You can go on there. She got free classes and stuff like that. So yeah, let me play the interview because this is funny and crazy. I can't believe she talked about this like this. Well, her family actually abused her. And yeah, I saw them. They actually smacked her or like hit her and told her she was fat. When you become an adult, it's not appropriate for your parents to chastise you by hitting you anymore. They tell you, hey, you're messing up. Please stop. You make me want to smack it out your hand. Go put that in the trash. That's what a parent does to a loving child. And I told her I got to become, because your father wasn't a good enough role model for you. And I'm learning how to be better. So I'm going to be your father. Keep me alive, and I will be a better father to you. Then, with that energy, I made a child and I'm an actual father. This is all what she chooses and agreed to. If she said I took out a belt and whooped her, but at the same time, she called me daddy and sat on my lap and let me spank her, then does that sound abusive? She laid on the other guy's lap. I showed y'all the pictures where she laid out on that dude's lap. And I'm like, okay, she's a supermodel. She lay across my lap and I spank her on the bottom. And then she want to say that it's abusive. But she didn't say that when I was doing it. She didn't say stop. You know what I mean? We had really great sex, and she needs to release our sex tapes so we can sell this book. Release the sex tape, crazy girl. Stop making up drama and trying to compete with all these celebrities. You don't got to do that. Just release the sex tape and go make some food. Make the injera pancakes on video. Just show people what we do. She's so crazy trying to sell this book. I caught you trying to sell that book, girl.
At that time, my relationship started to turn violent while we were together there in Honduras. Still learning and things and making connections with other people locally. My personal at-home situation that I was having that like anyone outside maybe wouldn't have known about. Maybe my mom, Gerda. But it was a couple months into being there that my father back here was getting very ill. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I would say about 11 years ago. And at that time, like his level readings of how bad it was getting very high. Like he was having all the symptoms, like just like, I don't want to be too gross, but like he was having swelling, he was having drainage, he was essentially dying. And, you know,
your dad was dying.
I didn't even have internet connection that often. I'm sure you know, like sometimes when you're out in these countries, like it's not like it is here. But whenever I could go to like a little Wi-Fi cafe, I would get in touch with my family and even my dad, and he was telling me how things were going. And I was like, Dad, just come here. Like, we got the herbs. Like, we got you. Like, come here. Let's.
Okay, Raw Fruit Goddess just lied to all of y'all. She lied to the name. Her husband, you know, he's going to mental hospitals. He's been through a lot. People tried to kill him so many times. He keeps coming back from the dead, and his name is Jesus. So she just lied. What happened was her dad, I started helping her heal. I said, hey, you're old enough. Let's get married. Then I can help you for real. Somebody to help me. Like I might go to work and hurt myself. I need somebody to make me some herbal tea. I can't make it myself because my leg hurt. Then I put the cactus on it. Help me go get some cactus. We went and got cactus ourselves and got cactus needles all in the car. I got them all on myself. I was walking around cursing for no reason because I had a cavity and a tooth that came sideways. I had my first cavity for real. And what happened, some food or something like a fig seed got stuck in my daggone teeth, and it daggone caused a cavity. So I had a cavity and I had like cactus needles in my hands and stuff. I had different injuries. So I could talk very, very aggressive. I was not as calm as I am now. I could be as calm as I am, but I was probably more quick to use curse words. And it's like, sometimes you can't tell people like, yo, I really need to go to the dentist, but I don't want to take no medicine right now. I'm just trying to stay away from drugs. So help me out. Because if we're married, she might nag me every day, baby. You need to go to the dentist. You tripping. I'm chewing up stems and putting that in my teeth. Like, fuck it. She not telling y'all what's really going on. That's why she should have let me talk to her before she did this interview. Now, before we went to Honduras, her dad was sick, right? Truth. She started a crowd fund before we went to Honduras to go and help the dad get to Honduras. Checked out some other places, grocery stores, found out how we could make food for him. And we found out how like the taxi cabs would try to rip you off, try to steal your money. They stole our luggage. She was pissed off about shit that I got nothing to do with too. She didn't say, oh yeah, they stole our baby stroller. Why didn't she say they stole the baby stroller through the airport? Is she under contract? Do she got different contracts where she can't say stuff, y'all? She making me the attention. I appreciate, but you like, you know, to be because I started a crowd fund. He bought a whole bunch of stuff for him. They even told me like, look, honestly, you can't have this stuff because it's for him. I said, okay, cool. When I got hurt, I asked, could they share some of it with me? When I got hurt, they gave me like some leftovers, and I was like, cool, thank you. Thank you. I was happy as hell. I didn't try to break into nothing. I didn't go crazy. You know, I was fighting the people out. I was yelling at her to give me my luggage because I had sold my clothes to buy some watermelons and I needed my clothes. So I sold like my clippers and I sold like my clothes to pay for like a room so I could have somewhere to stay when I wasn't sleeping on the street. And like, that was it, pretty much it. But anyway, with the relationship, she is telling it wrong. We take the dad to Honduras. We're gonna get him there. We're gonna check it out first to make sure it's safe. Then we're gonna figure out how to get him there, where the volcano water is, all that stuff. Make sure it's working. You know what I mean? Like maybe the pictures are old. Like maybe the building ain't even there no more. Let's go and make sure it's still there. We went to Lisa Left Eye Lopez's place. She not telling y'all the real stuff. And I'm like sad because sometimes that's clever misdirection and that's cool. But sometimes she's young and making a mistake. So I was talking to the family about diet and food the whole time. Like I talk what I do as a food tester and that his daughter was dying. And I'm like, yo, she told me that different family members are sick. Like I know how to help y'all, but you know, I'm going to teach her and she could teach you. It won't even be me teaching you. She's going to know enough to where you won't have to listen to me. So let me just teach her what I know. Me and the father was cool. So I got into an argument with her brother and stuff like that. I mean, that's not abusive, but those people were mistreating her. And they were eating dead animals and stuff. So as a vegan, it's like, all she could really say is like, yo, he just was tripping because he had that cavity and he was cursing a lot, but he didn't never really do nothing bad. He used to cook for me and he used to do everything he could. You supposed to, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it anymore. Like, it's like, even if you don't want to be with me, baby, I would never be like, nah, don't marry that girl. She too crazy. No, she's really great. Besides, sometimes she get high and forget stuff and tell stories wrong. And I'm like, no, that's not right. You got to tell the story right. You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked because I'm like, after I threw up and all that shit, like, I thought that she would be like, aha, you got what you deserve. That's what you got for slapping me. Karma got you. Ha ha, the forces of nature got you. Like, yeah, they got me because I let them get me. Like, I was trying to get got, you know? And it's like, I thought it was over. Like, no, she still had some anger for me and was like, no, I'm going to hit you some more and stuff. I'm like, golly, girl, like, are you done yet? Like, okay, is it over yet? You know, I'm just like, I thought it was over when I poisoned myself pretty much. But maybe she thought I was getting superpowers and I was doing some herbs that were giving me superpowers. But that was not the actual intention. Whether I got superpowers or not, or got healthier or not, was not actually the goal. The goal was to punish myself. I'm a grown man and I slapped my wife and I'm like, you know what? I don't even feel good right now. Like, let me just take some poison real quick and I'll be okay. I felt bad. And I'm like, she's going to let me take this poison. Now, what if she let her customers go do that? Telling y'all to eat watermelons. Because she's making the store money. And I'm like, baby, you got to say watermelons with the seeds. Of course, we know that. But just keep saying that. You gotta have a director sometimes, and life is a movie for us. We are so upper echelon that life is a movie and I've taken over the world, and you got to play your cards better. That is the problem for her. It's like, I'm your Joker card. Don't play your card like that. Don't play me like that, shawty. So, the whole time, the plan was to get the father to Honduras, to Dr. Sebi's house. Okay? Now, to my knowledge, he liked being in the tropical places anyway. So I didn't know that it was like she's claiming that she was begging him once she got there to come there. I assumed that he was coming the whole time. I'm like, is he not coming or is he coming? Like, how long we gotta wait? Like, so dude came and got in the volcano water, and she's gonna testify that it extended his life and that he got better. To my knowledge, she said that he started eating healthier. Like he was eating super healthy. And he started feeling great. So he was already half dead when I met him. But after they met me, you start feeling great. But Dr. Sebi said he had to step on people's necks. He had to break their backs. He had to stay on them to make them heal and to get healthy. I did all that without actually doing that. You get what I'm saying? I like slapping. But I told her really in a really mean voice, girl, I feel like slapping that out your hand. But that's just imagination abuse. That's make-believe. So if she smoked some weed and tell the story later, it sounds like a funny story. So yeah, what she's supposed to do now is to say, like, she's supposed to show up and say, do a magic trick or do that dance move for me, moonwalk for me. And she's supposed to look and say, dang, you healed after the police beat you up and you got in that car accident? I'm not supposed to be alive, y'all. I'm not supposed to be making this video. I ain't supposed to be punching bricks and moonwalking. She saw me hurt. Now, I appreciate the shout out, baby mama, but you telling the story wrong is not cool. I remember something else happened. Let me think about it real quick. It's like this, like magic. Like, are you watching closely? It's all written on paper. Are you watching closely? Then she, in the restraining order, she said some stuff about me that was like kind of not true. And I'm like, yo, you don't have to say all of that to make it real. All you got to say is, yo, he keeps calling me and I don't feel safe. And I want him to stop calling me and not to show up. And that's it. You don't have to say nothing extra. You don't got to lie and make the baby mama drama too much. Because then it's like goes in like a permanent record on the internet. And when we were kids, they told us about this thing called your permanent record. That thing used to not exist, but now it does exist. So if in the permanent record, one baby mama say I pull out an AK-47 and I'm extorting her when she offered me some money and I'm going to sell her the rights to the story, then this one goes and tells y'all the story wrong and I still own the rights to the story. She doesn't understand that the way that I taught her is a special technique where you learn how to save your life and you learn how to save other people's lives. Now she becomes a teacher. The hand that I never broke can heal the world because I never broke it. She might not have been able to even handle that, like just heal her own hand and learn how to heal it really fast. So I didn't put that on her, and she wasn't that crazy to where it was necessary. But the way that I was trying to teach her was so that, like, if one of us gets poisoned, the other one can save you instantly. If something is going wrong, you will be saved instantly. If you need help, you will be saved instantly. Don't worry. You could say, hey, I need some more spring water. And either me or a fan or the company will send you some water. I might write the company a letter and tell you some water. I have changed reality to where I'm talking about the watermelon with the seeds and stuff for a reason, because you don't want to let them keep brainwashing people. And it's like, are you watching closely? Because she assumed too much. She assumed that because I'm this big giant that she could not defeat me. But that my life was not in her hand. The same hand that I'm talking about breaking, my life is in your hand. That's be like, they'll treat you like that. So the main point is that something did happen where somebody like tried to poison her, or she took something that started making her very sick. And a lot of weird stuff was going on at Ucha Village. Like, she talked about some people were not welcoming. And I took care of her. She's alive today. She did not die. I did not kill her. I did not poison her. I poisoned myself. Before that actually, I poisoned myself after she got poisoned. After she got poisoned, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna poison myself. Let's see if you take care of me. Which she did take care of me, but she did beat me up. So she wanted to get that extra anger out. I didn't press no charges. I didn't put no paperwork on my wife. It ain't no big deal. I've been beat up before. But the main situation is that I was already half dead and we had $1 million lawsuit. And I'm talking about the lawsuit right now because I don't care, because y'all are welcome to know about our family and what's going on, since you want to talk about our family stuff. The police beat me up. I'm the real George Floyd, and I've been going through like hospitals and different things, getting myself back together. And at any point in time, I could like pass out or something, you know, and you have to be able to give me the right food or the right water, whatever it is, so where I don't die, or I'm able to manifest for you. It's like, you can't say, oh, like he's thirsty. Oh, well, we just got Sprite around here, and give me a Sprite. I'm not only going to be mad at you, but I'm going to probably pass out at work because the police just beat me up, and I ain't even supposed to be at work right now, but she saw me go to 3 jobs and not sleep. She made herbs for me. So the problem is that my baby's tripping and she's talking crazy on the internet. And I just wanted to address this because she is trying to sell that book pretty much. She's doing too much because she probably never even got a whooping from her parents. I got abused. That's not abuse, girl. When you get in a relationship and you ain't got no, like, for real, I just smacked her in the mouth a little. Like, I didn't goddamn break her jaw. She already had a big jaw. Speaking of the jaw, when my tooth, I think I got it pulled, or right before I got it pulled, I was still in some pain, and I was like, I'm not even taking my pain medication like I'm supposed to. And this is the lion's problem. Like, every now and then a lion or certain animals like a gorilla might get a cavity or something. It's not normal, but it happens from time to time, even in nature. So the humans could actually help the animals. Like, that's who you have stories about. So one time, like, I was in pain and something happened and somebody actually punched me in my jaw. And I saw them later. And I was just like, yo, I'm not trying to get into no fight right now. I'm not trying to do none of that. And it didn't even really like hurt me. But it was funny though, because the next day my jaw felt so good. I was like, yo, I wanted to go shake that motherfucking hand. Look, bro. Yo, my shit feel way better now, bro. I was like, bro, that shit like reset my chakra for real. Like that motherfucker, like that shit was like right on time. Like it didn't even hurt for real. Like maybe she was healing and she was very slim. She might not have a strong pain threshold. So she might have thought like, yo, that nigga slapped me with them big hands. But it's like, yo, I didn't punch you though. I just smacked you in the mouth because you was acting crazy while we was in public. And she talked about something like I'm going to jail, or she said something like I'm gonna die. And I was like, girl, don't speak about death on my name. Don't even speak like that. Be quiet. That's not what you say. Say something else. Like, we left the bread, the oven on. We got to go back to the house, baby. Let's get to the house before the motherfucking house burned down. I left the goddamn bread. I left the oven in the stove and the bread in the oven. You know, you say something like that. That's how you do it. Like, we got to get out of here. I forgot I was supposed to call my mama back. Oh, shoot, we got to go. Not you're about to die. You're about to go to jail and I see the future and da-da-da. It's like, no, be quiet, girl. So that's what happened. But yeah.
Find out until later, but my parents had been separated for a while, but my dad ended up like coming to see my mom and they were doing research about, they were both like, totally like, never been before, but I
studied together
this type mission, spirit-led path. And so many of the healing, that wasn't a place that he could depend on, but I pretty much felt like I had the system.
Who's
you
her
know,
father?
Like I
Me?
know what herbs, I can make you the herbs.
Me?
Like we can just go get the herbs and I can make you
Who's
tea.
her daddy? Me.
We can fast and I'll make you food. Like I'm also a raw vegan chef. So it's like I pretty much facilitated the healing experience for him.
Now she a chef.
Upon him deciding to fly down, it was essentially the same moment where it was like that turning point in my relationship where it was getting borderline chaotic and a lot of potential for violence. And so as much as like my father came down for me to save him, he also saved me. And that also allowed us to like heal our father-daughter relationship as well, because he spent a whole month with me in Honduras. And that was like the longest time I ever spent alone with my dad. Because growing up, like, I lived with both my parents, but it was like a toxic relationship and they weren't really getting along. But it was the type of thing where they were like, yeah, let's stay together for the kids, even though it wasn't healthy. But yeah, I just got that one-on-one time with him to kind of see where his mind is at, see where his journey is coming from, see where he wants to go, and just like develop this very clear space of love for him. So it was just such beautiful energy to which like I'm supporting and nourishing my father, and he's also like providing so much space for me to kind of heal and clear things as far as my relationship with the masculine, which is so important to me because I have a son, you know, I'm raising someone to be, that masculine figure as well. So it was so beautiful. He spent a month with me. I pretty much taught him everything I knew. He didn't like 100% heal during that 1 month there, learned and bring it back home here and keep up the lifestyle. And it extended his life by a few more years, which I'm so grateful for every day that we had that experience. That he could extend his life and that also like we were able to like heal and like understand each other at a deeper level. So once he left, I lived in Honduras for a few more months, connected, built some really beautiful friendships, and just really got to embody my learnings with the plants as well and develop this confidence that the inherent gifts and wisdom that is coming from my ancestors is not just like talk, but I can really help people. And that was just like the most beautiful thing. And since that experience in Honduras, I've been like private chefing. I've been, still like health coaching. But once I
made a
realized
song.
how much deeper my own healing process was, like deeper than the food, because I never really had like a diagnosis. I feel like my relationship with herbalism and like learning about health was very much coming from a place of like, I just want more vitality and focus and like longevity in my life. That was my motivation for that. But once I realized how deeper the healing was as far as like my emotions, codependency, people pleasing, the toxic relationships patterns that I realized I was attracting, I was like, I really need to go deeper into the subconscious and heal things at a deeper level, because it wasn't just showing up in my most intimate personal relationships. It was showing up in my business, in the way I operate with clients, in the way that I just give myself away, and all of these things. And since that journey, that was like summer 2017, I've gone deeper into just learning about my own childhood programs and how I can clear way for me to be more of me in my whole fully expressed self. Because in addition to like loving plants and herbalism, I'm also like an artist. I'm also a model. I'm also an actress. I'm also a coach and like a therapist, and just like so much love to give in so many beautiful creative ways that I now just express my personal brand in whichever way my soul leads me to in the present moment. That's been the journey.
Wow, I freaking love that. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I love how something that you were so passionate about really kind of showed up in another push and pull with mine as well. So that just gives more.
So what happened? Kicked me out the house. Then she didn't even want to call her mom and them. They had abused her so bad to where she didn't even want to talk to them. They were so low vibrational. And I was like begging her, yo, please respond back to your family, call your family, text your family. She didn't want to talk to them. So she made it sound like I was abusive and I done took her or something. Like, no, I'm the one that's like, I'm the one talking to them like, yo, she's like out doing this or whatever. She doesn't even want to talk to nobody. You know, I'm like, okay, look, call them, talk to them, say something, even tell them you got 5 minutes. You know, just tell them you got 5 minutes to talk to them. And they probably going to say something crazy, but, you know, just do it, you know. And since they lied on me and put me out the house, I put her in a bigger house. And one day I said, yo, let me get your phone. I got her phone. I went live with Jaden Smith. I was talking to Jaden Smith, and he was playing around in Whole Foods. And I was like, yo, we rule the world. Like, yo, we out here in Honduras. You know, we just came from Dr. Sabi's house. Like, people acting shady, but, you know, I'm right here. I need help. So next thing you know, I'm talking to Jaden Smith with her phone. Then I dropped a song. And I was like, yo, her mama lied on me. Her mama is a whore. So I put her in a bigger house and fucked her on and I did it inside of the house, the bigger house. Where she got the photos on Instagram and everything, where she was in Honduras and all the places I took her and stuff, the fruit I gave her, the food, and she just said it was leading toward violence. She just lied. We already a little violent, you know what I mean? Like, I smacked her in the mouth, she hit me in the neck, then we arm wrestled for the knife and I gave it back to her. So it wasn't real violence, but she actually could have killed me by punching me in my neck, my spine. That's a death blow. Like, it's not the same as smacking me in the mouth if I said something crazy. And talking about my death and all that stuff, that's like whatever. So that's a character that she's supposed to use for her family and to, you know, keep them financing her, supporting her, letting her stay in the house because she stole the money from her mama. This is a character that she created. She took the money, not me. I said, yo, like, you know, are they going to be mad at you? She was like, nah. What did they do? Let her come right back in the house. I said, make sure you tell them that you took that. Like, you know, but we needed it. And they was giving her money already. But then they just stopped giving her money. So she took the money. And they pretty much abandoned her, like left her to starve. And I'm like, yo, like, it would have been okay if we got married and you said, yo, I get $500 a month and you can tell me what to buy and I can eat it and be healthy. And I could give you some leftovers. I'm like, cool, give me the leftovers. I'll just eat the leftovers. Family cut her off. That's abuse. They left her to starve. She couldn't pay her phone bills. She couldn't pay none of her bills. We were going through stuff that we didn't have to go through because they wanted to kick me out and then they wanted to cut her off for being with me. They ruined our relationship. Therefore, our relationship got more intense. And it got so intense, and we took over the world. We reached a higher height. And it got so intense to where I'm like, yo, if I tell you to be quiet, because I'm listening to everything. Like, I'm listening to the police in they boot steps coming down the stairs. So when they come down the stairs, I could eat this blunt if I need to. I could eat this cigarette, this joint if I need to. Chill out. You know what I mean? Like, only person that saw what I had was the old man, and the old man wanted to see what I was doing. Now I want that old man to gossip about me. It's a tall, young brother. We don't know where he's from. He knew around here. I saw him rolling up a cigarette. That's like a cool thing. That's a good memory. First impression is last impression. So you messing up the whole impression that I'm making. If they see me smoke and then start acting crazy, then they like, oh, them some crazy motherfuckers. We can't fuck with them. But if they saw me rolling up a cigarette and they saw you pop up and say, baby, I think I left the oven on. Oh shit, we gotta get back to the house. Damn, why the fuck you forgot that shit? Oh man, we gotta go. While we walking down the street, you say, baby, you know you was by the police station? I'm like, yeah, I don't give a damn. We work with the hospital. I know who I am. I got the Capitol logo on my hat. They don't even walk around with the Capitol logo, and it's a pyramid. So who am I? The guy that used to pop your pimples on your face. This is just drama. She just being extra in the interview, y'all. She said it was a tendency, it was headed toward violence. Nah, it wasn't headed. The violence was I was about to fight her brothers. Cause I called her mom a whore. And I said what the truth was. And I said what she couldn't say. Just like for this interview, I'm saying what she can't say because she's under all these contracts. She has a silver spoon in her mouth. She does not live in the matrix. I literally sleep on the sidewalk. Like, I be meditating to a point to where people think I'm asleep. And I be meditating. And they'll be like, I actually went to jail for that shit one time. The police came, they walked over to me and said something, and I started talking to them. They said, well, you about to go to jail for sleeping on the sidewalk. I said, how am I going to sleep when I'm talking to you right now? I'm not sleep talking. I'm aware of what you're saying. No, I'm not going to jail. Have a good day. I'm just meditating right now. I'm just relaxing. They took me to jail for sleeping. I am the Matrix. I'm probably in a lot of Google Maps. That's why I'm about to screen print the car with Raw Fruit Goddess logo and give her some more advertisements. But baby, you can't be out here saying stuff crazy. Like, you saying abusive, then you saying it was a tendency to potentially get to violence. So you saying I ain't never laid a scratch on you. You saying I ain't never really put a bruise on you. But I turned you vegan and gave your dad some life extension. Oh, that sounds like Dr. Sebi. She told everybody I'm better than Dr. Sebi. Oh, that sounds like Dr. Sebi Jr. Dr. Sebi Jr. got to be better than Dr. Sebi now. Dr. Sebi said he had to do a lot to make people wake up and to heal and to fast and stuff, to learn all these lessons that she learned. R. Kelly did a lot of crazy stuff to people. Sometimes I'm not trying to say what he did ever made any sense because I don't know all the details of that. But what I'm saying is helping people get off of drugs and stuff like that, it's been very hard. I've been doing it my whole life. I actually ran a drug rehab program. I'm really Dr. Sebi Jr. I owned a drug rehab. And this drug rehab program, we had to help people. And sometimes we were very tough. Like my we're very tough. But I don't, if it really was violent, I would have said, look, I got to leave this and get away from this, like I did with Star. With her, I said, yo, just tell your family some crazy stories. And tell them, you don't want to, you want to break up with me or whatever you want to do. And you don't go, like, I didn't tell her to go on interviews and tell the crazy stories. I told her to tell her family those crazy stories. Because her family are the idiots that were about to kill themselves eating poison, that are eating dead animals and stuff to live. They're the ones that abuse you. They're the ones that didn't promote your family going and building our garden and stuff. She starts talking about somewhere in this interview that she would love to have a garden dad and trying to find some places. She's not telling y'all the truth, is that she already knows where she can grow food. Her family did not support her. And we would have been doing some great stuff together, but her family got her trapped in the matrix. And this is what she looked like in 2012. I met her some years later. You see her face? This is her in 2012. She's a supermodel and an actress and all that, she said. Raw fruit goddess. No, this is simply Mala. The person I met that grew up. And I told y'all I used to pop the bumps on her head.